Zone 4G, official partner of Pubg Mobile in Pakistan. PUBG Mobile का real मजा सिर्फ Zone 4G पर. Let's get digital.
So hello guys and welcome to PUBG Mobile National Championship Pakistan 2021 sponsored by Oppo F3 Pro. I'm here Trooper and with me as we got here QWERTY and we are here for the T2 of the semi-finale for the region. And here in front of you the three teams that are going to play today. It's going to be the first match for Group 3 and it's going to be the first match for you QWERTY as well. So how are you doing QWERTY, my friend? Tell me.
I'm doing really good. And I am super excited for today how these 8 teams from Group C and 8 from Group B are going to play together. If we have a look on the overall ranking, we have Freestyle on the top with a total of 2 chickens being 5 played and a total of 73 total points.
Yeah, certainly. And I8 sort of missing from the first phase. So that is a sort of surprise for a lot of people out there. But we know what happened yesterday. Some of the teams from the underdog, teams like DS Official, other teams like BillyBoys showed up an extremely amazing performance. And that's the reason why I8 is somewhat struggling at the 11th position today. But we'll find out when they get the opportunity today, how are they going to sort of stage that comeback. And that is what we are here for. Let's see if I8 is going to end up inside the top 3, top 5, where they are going to end by the end of the day. But right now, they are going to start the day's proceedings from #11. What do you feel about that, QWERTY? The best team from the region after the #1 on #11.
Yeah, I mean, I really think these last 5 games, they need to step up. I mean, if they want to be in the top 5, they need to step up because these are the last 5 games that they are going to play. And tomorrow we'll be having Group A versus Group Group C. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, and after that, we'll go for a little break, and then the groups are going to repeat, and the matches are going to be back again for Group A and Group B once we are back. But before that, by the end of this day, Group B would have played all their 10 games, and Group
Yeah.
C is just going to start their proceedings. So, how important do you feel, Kraki, it is to sit on the sidelines on the day number one and watch these other teams perform? And now they have some sort of an idea of how these teams are going to play from Group B. What sort of an advantage do you think is there for teams for Group C to step in at this stage on the day number two?
I mean, if Group C teams have seen the teams of Group B playing, they know where they land, they know where they drop. And I mean, with that strategy, you can do a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, you can block the rotations off, you can cut the rotations in the, I mean, you can just hold them off in the circle before they get into the circle, right? So I really feel like if Group C, I mean, all of the teams have seen how Group B played all of the 5 games, they will be prepared for the next 5 for today. So I am super excited for that, and they might be knowing of Group A people as well. So tomorrow, I guess, even just like today, tomorrow is also going to be the same for the teams of Group C.
It's amazing that you mentioned that some of the rotations are going to get blocked, and that is exactly what happened yesterday for I8. They were unchallenged throughout the group stages, going towards the military base. But yesterday, DES stepped up. And let's have a look at Freestyle, who are not going to be playing the matches today for sure, but they're leading the charts right from front. And this was the group stage, head-to-head average stats, group stage versus the semi-finale stage for Freestyle. 24 matches on the left-hand side, 5 matches on the right-hand side, and you can clearly see the difference, how they have been dominating and how they have just come up with that better performance inside the semi-finale. It looks like they've sort of used the break between the group stages and the semi-finale to somehow step up their game and just come with that A gameplay that we know them for.
Yeah, only playing 5 games, they are on the top with those 2 chicken dinners in their hands full of 73 points. I really feel like Team Freestyle might even make this lead even bigger. So I'm curious about that. But let's see how are the games going to be played today. 8 teams from Group B and so from Group C as well.
Yeah, certainly. Even I'm excited, and the way these teams have showed some heart and to fight against the best of the region. I loved how I8 responded as well. Nothing to take away from them. They are definitely the best team out of this region. They have the experience, they have the exposure, they know what to do, what not to do, what are the mistakes, and they are also evolving with time. But yesterday, the way they showed up onto the drop of the Official and told them who is the boss, I really sort of like that attitude. But let's see how these teams are sort of going to start the day today. Are there going to be altercations between DES and I8 in the first game in Erangel? Because that is going to set the tone for the entire day. And we had just absolutely amazing games. I don't say this often, but the pacing of the game was absolutely wonderful. All the 16 teams are trying really, really hard. Those were playing yesterday, and I'm expecting nothing less from the teams of Group C as well.
Yeah, once again, today we are going to start the day with the map Erangel. Following up will be coming Miramar, then Sanhok, and then once again we'll be having Erangel again played by this team. So I mean, the first map that's going to be the map of Erangel will be even decent. I mean, every single sort of rotations, every sort of positioning. I mean, that's going to be super interesting to watch.
Yeah, and let's not forget that the total prize pool for the national championship, $30,000, and above all, Cracky, the one slot for the PMPL, that is above anything else, and that is at stake. So all these teams are not just fighting for the money, but they are also fighting for that slot. And the bragging rights, you are going to be the national champion for a region like Pakistan. There's nothing else. Today we are saying that the best team is I8. This might change by the end of the tournament, and you have this opportunity. All the underdog teams that have stepped up their game, they have this opportunity to change the proceedings. Let's see if they are ready, prepared, and grinded well enough to do that or not.
I mean, yeah, I'm super excited to see that. But by the way, what are your expectations on the map of Sanhok? Because being the smallest map out of all, I mean, I really think it's very action-packed game compared to the other maps. So on the map, or just like Sanhok, I mean, what do you think? What are going to be the rotations? What are going to be the strategies of the players to play on that map? Because any sort of thing that you want to try out, you are going to get punished because here and there teams are going to be present to watch you. And I mean, despite knowing the fact that there's a lot of snakes, we have seen a lot of snakes being playing map like this thing, and I'm excited to see about that. What are your expectations on the map of Sanhok?
Well, yesterday the Billy Boys took the best out of Sanhok, right? So it was a new team to just step up, and Sanhok is always a fast-paced game. It is always an opportunity for a team just who is hovering down at the bottom side of the overall table to sort of come back, get some kills, get the important 15 points. You don't see a very high bragging Sanhok game ever, but there are always those 12 kill, 13 kill chicken dinner in Sanhok, and if you're able to pull that off, that's a really good opportunity to sort of come back.
Yeah.
The high pacing of the game always gives that opportunity to all the other teams who are sort of not doing good so far to sort of come back in Sanhok, and that is exactly what I'm expecting today. Even yesterday, QWERTY was holding the center so beautifully. They were holding on to boot camp so beautifully, and Fixers was pointing it that they went back to boot camp, and that is why they sort of had to suffer. But a big shout out to Zong 4G as well, our network partners, and all the players are connected, well connected to the lobby here, and we are going to step into the game number one. Cracky, how excited are you for the PUBG Mobile National Championship Pakistan semi-finale, day 2 on its way?
I mean, yeah, the playing part. I mean, it's really cool. Center strike. I mean, the players who just want to go to Nova Repano military base, Malta, Puchiki school. I mean, these places are easily accessible. But what about the teams that loves to go to the Primos, Zaki side, Hospital, and Georgia Ball? I mean, they are gonna have some sort of troubles in those car fights, in those vehicles fights. So I'm expecting a lot of crazy fights like that. But what's gonna happen on the military? That's the big thing.
Yeah, that is really the big thing because I-8 is dropping inside the military base over here. So let's see how they're going to start their proceeding. And DS also in their group dropping towards the main island, not very far away from the shores as well. So that is going to be one thing to look out for. But look at the plane crossing over Yasnaya Polana. We saw some early altercations over there. Team Bablu leaving the plane over there. So let's see how this game is going to shape up from there.
Yeah, and I mean the Pochiki area will be acquired by teams, and maybe the school area we might have some sort of fights action going there. But the first circle is there, and it's on the northern side of the map. And I'm super excited to see that because the teams there, if they try to rotate from the bridges, they might be having some sort of problematic situations going on there. Because if any teams comes to hold them, I mean bridge camp them, it's game gone for them. They will lose at least one or two players there.
Yeah, certainly. And PMPL Esports, we watched them yesterday as well, playing some amazing games. They started the day in the first game with just 3 players, but since then they have been a different sort of team completely. Now we come to this compound where Random 4 is finding some new neighbors out here. Let's see which is the team that is closed in on them. That we are finding Unpredictable quite close to Hasnat over here. So that's going to be a very difficult situation. And both these teams were playing yesterday as well, but really we did not find any early altercation here from both these teams. But Hasnat, he's been caught off guard. That is the first blow out of this game.
Yeah, he is completed. And I mean, that's the first kill for them. That was an easy kill for them as they got weapons. They are going to secure that and we'll be moving forward in the game. But let's see how the players are going to start to rotate, because it's already a minute and a half in the game. The players will be starting to loot out and they'll be planning their strategy to rotate in the circle very early. We have seen that sort of situations. But yes, R4 losing one player in the early fights, early engagements. I mean, they are going to continue with the 3-man squad in the whole game now.
Certainly, that is going to be one thing. But look at the circle over here with the northern shores into the game, into the equation now. It's going to get really exciting because teams like I-8, they do not have a lot of time to rotate now. They're the only team on that Novo island, on that military island completely, and now they got to start rotating. But I don't see any sort of movement from DS towards the map, towards the military bridge right now. So clearly they have a game plan. It's not going to be every single game that they're going to block the rotation for I-8. But let's see when the surprise factor is going to come, because clearly yesterday when they did hit I-8, it was a game that I-8 was trying to sort of come back, and they were trying to get good numbers of that game inside the Erangel game, and they were caught off guard. They were really not being very cautious on that military bridge, but certainly that action is not going to start today because DS are already finding themselves inside the southern half of the circle, on the southern edge right now. Very close to them, there's a team inside Pochinki as well, that is Max Esports. Let's see how they're going to do. But look at Bablu, where they are already rotated towards the northern city.
I mean, they might be having some sort of predictions there that the circle might shift toward the northeastern side of the map. But yeah, 70 being already occupied. I mean, if the circle goes even more towards the northern side, they will be having the upper hand there. They'll be having the compound. They'll be seeing if any enemy is coming their way. They can shoot them down easily. And for now, I really think that every single team is busy in loading, and after some sort of situations after the first circle being closing in, the players will start moving and they'll try to get the compound control as early as they can.
Certainly, that is going to be something to watch out for. Look at this. Other teams also just looting up right now. This is Quantum Rage on our screen. They are having an amazing tournament here, Cracky. Hashtag two position without a lot of effort yesterday. They were just being consistent, winning those fights, doing all the basics correctly, and that is exactly what you want for a team like Quantum Rage. That was an amazing day number one. And let's see how this team is going to go about in the games that they have got today, because clearly they've got 8 new teams to deal with. Some good homework is always going to be helpful, don't you think?
Yeah, I certainly think that, because I mean, if you know how your opponents play, what's their play style, are they gonna play passive or aggressive, you can certainly counter them. You can just play like that. So I really think that if you're done your homework, that's gonna be even better in any sort of situations.
Certainly, and let's see. Let's hope just all these teams have done their homework correctly, and clearly one team has Eliminate have done their homework quite well, because QWERTY is not inside the lobby, so Lipovka is up for a grab, and that is exactly what Eliminate have done over here, looting up the city completely. Let's see if they're going to get those kind of results which QWERTY is able to get here, and let's see if that is going to happen or not. But on the other hand, Random 4, who have already lost a player, are finding themselves holding a compound in between Yasnaya and School right now. That is a very crucial compound. Gives you a lot of landscape to cover, quite a lot of open spaces around this compound that you can hurt while the teams are rotating. But let's see what sort of an impact they can make. On the other side, we have Dead Squad holding up the city of Severny. That's going to be a very crucial position, I think. What do you think, Cracky?
Yeah, I certainly think that that's true. But onto the Rozok area, I think they will be starting to rotate, and it's the team UPR who is also trying to rotate in. And from the school, they might be having some sort of problems. What do you think about that?
Certainly, always that is going to be a problem, because now they're clearly going towards the northern side of the river. And by this hybrid circle, look, I don't think a lot of area is going to stay inside the circle towards the northern side. What do you think is going to be the shift of the zone in this sort of a circle?
I mean, what I really think is it's going to be on 70, and 70 already being occupied. I mean, we'll be having the most action being there. But on the Milta side, we have some teams rotating from the super close area of Team SP. Let's see how it's going to go.
Yes, we are going to look at that. But right now we are having quite a decent low game, and the teams are just rotating in inside the first circle. And because look at this, there's a rotation coming in from the same team. Obviously, he's just making sure that there's no team in the nearby vicinity. They're just grabbing the information. A lot of teams towards the northern side of the river right now, and some of the teams are busy rotating from the Milta area as well. So this gives up a lot of opportunity for the teams to catch some teams on the rotation if they're going to hold on to the edges. And we're clearly going to find out if that is going to happen or not. And look at this. This is just
Teddy.
exactly. He goes
Teddy
out.
that was uncertain. He was not expecting a lot of players to be here already. He was trying to scout for the team, but he is now out of the game. And that's the second free kill for Team USA.
This is exactly what I was talking about. It's going to get there's going to be a lot of gatekeeping on rotation. That is exactly what Unpredictable have done over there. Splendid knock just behind the race. 1v1 executed quite well, and as you said, that was sort of a free kill there for Team Unpredictable. They were there in numbers, getting out rotations, getting some kills for themselves. That is exactly how you want to start proceedings. On the other side, we have Lost Esports holding a compound towards the southern side of the city of Severny. So this is also a very good compound. Look at the kind of landscape control they're getting from here.
I mean, a 2v2 split, that's not a bad decision at all, because if a full score rush comes in towards any of the compound, any of the side, all two of the players can help each other run across. I mean, they can throw some grenades, they can toss some mollies, and I mean, a lot of stuff can be done there. So it's a great compound, and we have our first airdrop. I mean, having my favorite weapon, that's going to be AWM.
Wow, thank you, Cracky, for letting us know. It's the favorite weapon for a lot of players and audience out there. But look at this. The team on #1 and #2 positions starting the proceedings are taking damage from the blue. So some late rotation coming in from I8 right now. And even Quantum Rays do not want to make an early appearance to the party over there inside the second circle. But rest of the 14 teams, even TMW now coming towards the northwestern edge, and this is sort of shifting towards the southern side. So it becomes a completely good hybrid circle now. Now those spaces that you were talking about, Kraki, those southern apartments, those school apartments, and those school building and the Rozhok city come into equation with this hard shift towards the southern side. This is something that I wasn't really expecting. I was thinking that the game would go towards Severny, and certainly a lot of teams were also expecting that. We were watching them setting them towards the city of Severny as well. But now look at these rotations coming down, and they are heading towards the city of Rozhok. Let's see where the team of XGeneration decides to settle, because this is going to be a very, very crucial hold position that they are heading towards.
I mean, yeah, if you rotate early, it really means that you are ready for the fight. But as we see, a lot of teams rotating super late, taking some zone damage. I mean, they want to play passive in the first half of the game at least. In the second half, things might change. They might change their play style.
And Quantum Rage losing a player-to-play zone. We saw them looting up so far wide inside the blue zone in the Milta area, and now they're down over there. But Knockout, on the other hand, now trying to hurt the rotation of Lost Esports, but not being that successful right now. Holding on to this patrol station, this is just on the road from Severny to Yasnaya. There's a bridge as well quite nearby, so that is not a terrain to sort of spend a lot of time, I believe, in this circle. But Tyro eliminate, and two of the teams. Oh, look at this cluster. 3 teams inside the nearby vicinity.
But for Team ELM, I am quite curious about that, because they are going to get sandwiched if both the teams pushes together. I mean, if the timing goes wrong, they are going to get sandwiched. But for now, Zan is going to find one, and so does his teammate. That was vision, I guess.
Certainly, and you're absolutely right. The timing is absolutely very, very important over here. Look at this nade, how Zan is trying to just confirm the kill on Joker, but smokes coming in from the side of his teammates as well. Insane and Nocto do not want to lose a teammate, because clearly in Miramar yesterday, they know when they lost a teammate early, they were there in the final circles, and they were holding the man disadvantage situation against a team like QWERTY, and they do not want that to happen with them again. But this is going to be a pressure situation as Joker is bleeding out, and they have flanked angles on the team of PAPS over here. So difficult questions being asked onto Portal Esports quite early onto the day number 2 over here.
I mean, completely prepared for this fight. I mean, they have already a flank already, take them down if they try to push in the open. But for now, I mean, smokes being deployed, Team Portal Esports trying their level best to get their teammates back in the game, and then they'll move away. But this is looking unfortunate. ZEI8 Esports is going to take down one player. That was the flanker for Team ELM.
Yeah, that was the flanker, as you said, and that is the trouble with flanking game, right? You can always get picked off, and this is I8 sort of punishing the flanker over there. And now they are heading inside this fight. They've closed in a bit using their vehicles, and look at this, another finish coming in. Ripper eliminated out of the game, so this is Team I8 looking for some early points over here. This is just the southern ridge towards the shooting range area. Let's see how they're going to control the slopes over here, because it's going to be very difficult for these other teams, because, you know, I8 really wants to make a comeback today.
And I mean, third party right now will give them certainly a lot of free kills. They got the first for them, and now we'll be looking for more. So it's better for Portal Esports and ELM to run away from this position and get some sort of compound or maybe a good cover in the circle. And yes, they are going for that. And so is I8.
Well, that's a really good read from you, because you don't want to commit so early in a fight in a competitive game, right? You know you got to keep your players in numbers, and that's going to help you inside the later fights as well, inside the later circles as well. So clearly another orb over here with an 8x. So you don't have to go looking for that 8x times when you get an orb over there. It's right there inside that airdrop over there. But look at this patrol station that we were talking about that Knockout was holding, and the landscape around it, and you can see those multiple rotations. Team Bablu making a rotation towards the Yasnaya Lake, and just closing by is another team inside that rotation. So some altercations might happen here as teams start to rotate towards the third circle.
I mean, yeah, this circle is going to be the decider who stays and who leaves. But for Team R4, I mean, they are coming back in the game. They took one trade of their teammate, and they got actually 3 kills. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, yes, already 3 kills, and that is just because of the position that they're holding, right? Just get this opportunity, and look at that spray coming in, but tap shots coming in from the player unknown as well. So not allowing any easy kills over there. Portal Esports once again in action. They picked up Trinda out of the game early casualties for I8.
Yeah, and the score for Team Esports, Joker is already out of the game. And from Team UP, it's two players already out, and one of the players, I mean, got killed by Team R4.
It certainly did, and R4 is having a really good time in the early half of this game, and clearly they lost a player quite early. Hasnath, he was in that compound alone with the lads over there, but he got picked off, and the remaining three players are sort of trying to get a comeback over here. They picked up the lads of unpredictable as well, so. But look at this, North Esports in action today. This is the team we have been talking quite a bit about. We are expecting a lot to come in from North Esports as well. They have found this one lad, Rahman, from XGeneration, stranded in the watchtower over here. But look at Rahman, he makes an impactful knock over there with the Scarlet 3x. He got Zameen out, and Zameen is a key player. So this is going to be a panic situation for the lads of North Esports. Look at that, he's literally jumping inside the water with his vehicle, trying to avoid those bullets over there.
Yeah, but I mean, how Zameen is going to get resurrected? That's going to be the big thing. Rahman will be looking forward to secure him as soon as I can. But Daku deploying some smokes over there to save his teammate and get him back in the game. For now, he's on his knees and he'll be getting on his legs very soon.
He certainly will be, and these are two players to watch out for, certainly. For the entire region of Pakistan, I feel the way North Esports is a very old team, just like Fixers was telling us yesterday, and the way they are sort of making a comeback into the main scenario on both I8 and DS into action. They are fighting against different teams right now. DS have sort of found R4, random 4. They were already down to 3 men, and they've lost another player now to. Yeah, he's just knocked for now. Let's see if the revive is going to be on there or not. But I8, Uzun taking shots on Bablu and some damage as well on Khan 420 over there. He's going to just use his vehicle as some sort of a cover, and that is why those shots being targeted towards the tires of that US by Uzun.
IA doing a lot of damage to the players who are reading towards the circle, and that's the advantage. If you have the position, if you have the circle in your favor already, I mean, you can do a lot of damage. And see, they are doing a lot of damage to the players. One knock, I mean, that was from Mustafa, I guess.
Yeah, that's a different team. Rec Esports sort of also making an impact, and this certainly happens. You're absolutely right. When you're holding these edges, and the way this shift of the zone has come over here, these ridges are going to be very, very crucial where I8 is finding themselves right now. They have Team Bablu very close to them. Look at the map over there. Quantum Rage also sort of making an appearance, but they are getting pinned down seriously, and they really need some time to regroup over here. Multiple knocks. Vegan is going to be under pressure, but look at that in the backdrops. We have Tyro 110 that is getting eliminated, and Quantum Rage also making an impact on Mustafa as well. I think there was a team that was closing in on the lads of Quantum Rage that has been pulled down over here.
Yeah, and certainly this circle is quite open. We don't have much of those compounds here.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of compounds over here, and that is always going to play a factor. Open spaces means you gotta have smokes, you gotta have vehicles, you gotta just somehow use the ridges as a cover, and that's going to be a difficult task to do when these kinds of players are lurking around. Look at this, both circle has started closing in. So 47 players, and this is the push that I was talking about. XGeneration in action right now. Psycho quite low, he goes down as well. Lost his foot, taking some serious damage on the lads of XGeneration. Where's the fourth lad? Thug, he's just so much far away from his teammate, and he's now just sort of coming in. This is going to be really interesting. XGeneration, this is their game number 1 against Lost Esports. Thug, he's got pulled down, he's hit him. There's the damage done. That's the first aid being popped, but shots from a different angle completely. Lost Esports eliminated quite early in the day.
I mean, Wolf was trying his level best to survive. They were barely breathing on 1 HP. As soon as he tried to escape from the house, he tried to go out and heal himself back. But the third party will be taking him out of the game. And now it's the second team getting out of the game and on the 15th position.
Well, yes, this is certainly which Lost Esports did not anticipate that is going to happen to them quite early in this game. But we have a lot of action upcoming, and this was the game for the day, right? And their elimination quite early, that's going to hurt them. And let's see how they are going to stay as they come back in the remaining games for the day. Meanwhile, we have Max Esports who have booted up Pochinki, hurting the lads out there from Unpredictable and multiple teams. Even Team Bablu is stepping into some fights now. They were very good in a very position when we last saw the circle over there, but we are having a look towards the west, the edge, where Eliminate are enjoying a very beautiful concrete cover, and just hoping that this compound remains inside the circle. What do you think, Sir Cracky? Is it going to be or not?
I mean, it is certainly going to be. Look at the circle shift. A lot of teams being already thrown out the circle, and now they have to make a better position, find a better position in the circle. And I mean, that's going to be really, really hard for them because circle doesn't have much of those jump rounds, and you're going to make the cover for yourself with those vehicles. I mean, and already so many teams in the circle, they are not going to let you in. And if you somehow get in the circle, better be careful with those grenades coming in, those utility users will be coming in to take you down.
That is always going to be the part, right? With so many players alive, those utilities are always going to come into the equation because as you're going to move close, the area is going to get less, and that is what the game is all about. But look at the spotting from Daku, and he's going to take one down over there. Almost,
Yes, he does.
And that's a very good knock. He's trying to capitalize, maybe trying to get the second one as well. A very amazing gun used over there from Daku, and I'm really liking this guy. The way he's been impressive throughout the group stages as well. He's certainly carrying the show over here.
Yeah, he does. He does. He did a lot of damage on the Lampard, but I mean, he is going to get a quick resurrection there, and he'll be back in the game. So once again, TMWeSports Esports is going to be back in the game with those three players on, and I mean, certainly they themselves a great for now.
He certainly did, but look at that. Who's got eliminated? TSF official getting an early elimination over here. This is something. Yeah, and North Esports, they were surviving so close to the lads of XGeneration, and XGeneration did not allow them to do once the circle started closing in. This is the fifth circle, and there's a pretty good amount of damage that you get, and that is why you see all this chaos and confusion happening inside the circle right now. Even Max trying to sort of survive. North Esports were badly sandwiched out of the situation. They were finding themselves XGeneration in a compound, and then Max Esports on the other side of the ridge, and that is why they got eliminated over here. But look at this, Portal Esports, they made an early move towards the edge. They are trying to hold on with this vehicle cover. It's a very tricky situation. If they go past the next 30 seconds, then they're going to be beautifully stationed.
You just stole my words. I was about to say that they just need to survive for those 30 seconds, and if they do that, they can make a great position and a great situation for them in the upcoming circle. And there you go. Portal is going to spot one, and he is going to take down Unpredictable at 11th position.
That was the last lad from Unpredictable. He's out of the game for now. We have down to 10 teams, top 10 teams. Even TMW is here with just one lad. I8 reduced to just one player. So we know the kind of pressure on I8 to stage a comeback today. Remember, Team QWERTY is not playing today, right? So it's a very good opportunity for I8 to sort of set up, to step on the pedal and maybe get some good points out of this equation. Because we know clearly that the teams are going to play at the end just 20 matches. Yeah. And already 2 matches played for I8. Already 5 matches played for I8. And today they're going to complete their 5, and in this first game they've sort of missed out on the opportunity. But the next circle, a centralized one, ELM on one side, Bablu on the other. It's a very amazing circle shift for all the fans of Team Bablu out there.
Yeah, but as you mentioned about Team I8 already being playing five of those games, now the last man is only the one who is surviving in the game, and he got like 6 kills, a total of 6 kills with Team I8. How is he going to capitalize on them? That's going to be the big thing. But this grenade from Dextazy is going to take down Pan, and now it's going to be a 3v3 fight, a equalizer. But let's see if they are going to throw some more grenades. Do they have them?
That's a big question, right? And look at the helmet vest as well. Damage, but he gets to manage another knock over there, so he's taking a try, but he goes down as well. But there's a good push coming in. Look at Hacker trying to get in over there. Another knock coming in. The last guy, he's just prone right in front of him, unable to spot him. Psycho sort of making the X Factor over here, and Rahi, he is still under pressure over there. Let's see if the revive is going to be executed once again in this game. Team XGeneration down to just one player standing, and they're sort of trying to regroup, and Team Max trying to pin on them, but I don't think it's going to be possible for Max Esports Rai over there.
Yeah, if Rai was closer in this 1v1, it was easier for him to capitalize on that. But now he will be the last man for his team, breathing there, trying to get inside the circle, trying to get into his buggy and try to run in the circle. But will he be allowed to do that?
And look at that, they're also hurting a different team. That was Team Knockout. They were hurting Knockout. Now it's just one lad. And meanwhile, all this was happening, Cracky. Portal Esports have somehow managed to get 11 kills, but multiple players for Portal Esports are down now. One to have just eliminated the team of Eliminate that was holding on to a very crucial western edge of the zone. They have been eliminated out of the game. So Portal Esports sort of blooming in their area. And look at this, XGeneration. Yes, XGeneration still hurting more players. They're getting numbers over here inside their kill tally. That is an amazing game coming in for XGeneration. Beautiful way to start proceedings for Group C by XGeneration.
I mean, Rahman was indeed good stuff there with that start. 3x, he took down 2 players there. And now we're just down to 5 teams and 9 players. Team Bablu has the highest forecast right now.
Yeah, certainly. And look at this. We have got 5 teams inside the circle. Team Bablu have been holding on to that position for a very long time now. Let's see what sort of an impact they're going to make. But this is a heel battle. No, I think this is the last first
save, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just trying to catch the zone over here. Very high damage at this point, but he's going to make it inside. But let's see if he's being spotted or not. No, he's not. But Rahi, look at his position as well. He's on the elevated area, and he's sort of trying to make that run with that buggy, and he's been spotted by the lads of Team Bablu from the distance, trying to pin him down, but he's using his buggy as a cover for now. That's not a really good cover, but the next shift of the zone, let's see, it's completely towards the lads of Team XGeneration. Looks like it's going to be their game.
I mean, yeah, and teams like Team Bablu now has to cross the road, and I mean, it's not going to be easy for you because every single team is going to put you down, but Rahman is going to take down Quantum Rage, and now we are just down to 4 teams and a total of 8 players. And so, as we were talking about, Max Esports is also going to leave on the 4th position.
Yeah, Max Esports eliminated, and now we're down to just 3 teams over here. Portal Esports, they've already got 10 plus kills in their tally, so they're very, very confident with this. They've already lost Nocto as well. We were watching them down to 3 lads quite early in the game, but now just 2 players showcasing themselves inside the final circle, and we have XGeneration holding on to a very crucial high ground over here. But Team Bablu, they've got the numbers and they've got the percentage inside the chicken dinner forecast as well. Let's see if they're going to convert this, because we know there are a lot of fans from the region thinking want them to get this chicken dinner over here, but they're closing, and one of the Team Wolf has been pulled down over here. This is going to be a difficult situation. Dani somehow manages to survive. It's going to be a big responsibility on Zibian to somehow take this trade, and he's missing out on this opportunity. Rahman is going to pop in some bandages over here, but I really feel that Zibian should have taken him down over there.
Yeah, but Rahman, still alive somehow in the game, and now we're just down to 2 teams, Portal Esports versus XGeneration. Wow. 2v2, and how are they gonna play? Because Rahman is out of first aid kits, out of helmet, and the West is quite damaged as well.
I really want to see how Zibian was taken off. He was so far behind. He was supposed to give that cover, which he was unable to. But Team Bablu eliminated on the 3rd position in this game. They've got some good position points, but it's a really good way to start. But I really felt they missed out on a chicken over here. They had the numbers with them. But now we have this 2v2 situation. Portal Esports with 13 kills already. Look at that. Insane has just got 2. Momtu having a really good show, and look at this Molly. Is it going to hurt Rahman? Rahman, just watch out. This is a raid coming towards you.
I mean, yeah, he has one of them players, but this Molly was not good enough. And now, I guess, Insane is just going to play time. I mean, for some 3 to 4 seconds, the players will be trying to come in. And Otto is right. He might have spotted him. What do you think about that?
Certainly, he might have spotted him. That is why you see those shots coming in from the Scarlet 3x. He's already got 7 kills in his tally. Rahman is playing an amazing game over here. That's a lot of confidence you carry when you got 7 kills. And Psycho, he's still prone over there. And let's see if Insane is going to spot him or not. He's closing in with the Uzi at this point. And Momtu is back to 8 kills here, Crack.
Yeah, and I mean, the matter of time is going to play up usual, but this grenade could do some sort of damage onto Momtu. But I mean, that was okay. So it's going to be a 2v2, and Insane might have spotted 1 at least. He's just waiting for the second player to get revealed, then trying to shoot him. Because if he shoots onto Rahman, and if he doesn't know the position of the other player, he might get rid off instantly.
That is certainly a possibility, and Portal did not have a really good day. Number 1, somehow made it here inside the final circle, but XGeneration was not taking a dream shot. They would really want to go home with this first chicken dinner over here, because that is going to do their confidence a hell lot of good over here. But now slowly and steadily, both the lads are closing, and now we have an opening. That is Momtu who's got picked up over here. Rahman eliminates him out of the game, and this is going to be a 1v2 situation now for the last lad knocked over there. Insane over there.
Yeah, Insane 1v2 now. I mean, for now, he is in wide open running over there. And as soon as he gets spotted, he is going to get taken down instantly. Insane, I mean, he just needs to play time. All of the players from XGeneration will come into the circle, but Rahman is going to spot him. And one goes down, and now it's a 1v1. Insane versus Psycho. A lot of damage being done. Already on 1 HP, and with the Uzi, he is going to clutch it out.
Wow, and he clutches it out with the Uzi inside the final circle. Those were some insane Uzi shots that he just looked at. He knew that his shots were getting connected. He clearly did not have a look at the pixels over there, and that is how you do it inside the final circle. PMNC Esports 15 kill chicken dinner, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered for PMNC Esports after day number 1. Stepping into day number 2, they've got an amazing opening game over here with the total damage. Look at that, over 2,000 damage. Really good number of kills. A 15 kill chicken dinner. That's exactly what we wanted to start proceeding with.
Yeah, with a total of 30 points, they got the chicken dinner for themselves. 15 from those chicken dinner points and 15 total of kills. I mean, a good head start in the day 2, the semi-final day 2. And I mean, the another 4 maps, they are going to be super interesting to watch out for.
But not a bad game for XGeneration as well. First game for Group C, and they come in, grab some good kills for themselves. And look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Rahman, he's the most valuable player for the game, and he would be really happy. His team would be really happy. 8 kills? Yeah, 8 kills. Amazing show. 1,000 damage in the single game. Got 2 assists as well, so he's clearly helped his teammates as well. He's had an amazing game over here, and I'm really looking forward to this underdog team over here. Let's see how XGeneration is going to do, because clearly Miramar has been their strong suit in the past as well, and with that upcoming game, I'm really excited for XGeneration.
We have 2 players total in the top 4 player list, and it's going to be more to entertain with those 8 and 4 kills respectively. With those 806 damage, Momdo was, quite good there.
Yeah, he was certainly quite good. He's got that amazing number, 806 damage, 8 kills under his belt. That is exactly what PMNC Esports wanted, and that is what I've been saying. They did not really have a very good opening day, but this opening game on the day number 2 has been certainly PMNC Esports' day completely. Before even entering the final circle, they already got 11 kills. They just wiped out players inside the final circle to make sure to get the 15 points. And look at the performance coming in from Quantum Rage as well. This is weekend use 14 utilities in the game. That is the highest. But I was really impressed with Psycho as well. The way he controlled the game. There were multiple times that his teammates were on knees, and he made sure that he got the team back and regrouped them for the next one.
Yeah, XGeneration, though super close to the PMNC Esports. I mean, they got a total of 30 points, and Team XGeneration got a total of 24. So, I mean, 6 more points needed to, nullify the lead. But yeah, that was the first game, and we have 4 more to go.
Yeah, we certainly have. But teams like GS Official, Red or even I8 not having a really good game this time as well. So let's see what sort of a preparation they're going to do for the next upcoming game. North Esports was feel that they really missed out. 2 points over there for North Esports. Unpredictable went into a fight quite early. That is something they didn't work out with. That is going to be really important for them. But I really like how they do the gatekeeping over there. But clearly they should have carried their players and numbers inside the final circle where they clearly missed out the trick.
I mean, yes, but let's see. What are your expectations on the map of Miramar? What do you think? Who is going to get that? As you mentioned, XGeneration got a good hold on the map. Let's see what's going to happen. But by the way, what do you think is going to happen on the map of Miramar? It's the biggest of all of all.
Team Bablu inside the lobby here, Kaki, and the Team Bablu is the king of the region for Miramar, as we say. But let's see what is going to happen. Team QWERTY was able to pull it off yesterday inside the map of Miramar, but today I just feel it's going to be Team Bablu. So the way they were there inside the final circle, I would feel they missed out the opportunity over here. Sibyan should have provided a better cover. He could have pulled off Rahman because he was clearly visible on that cover of the drone that he was holding up. And I was sort of Team Bablu to bloom, but the circle chip was just so far away from them, and the distance was so open space that they were caught off guard. They were trying to close in the distance, but they were put down.
Yeah, they were, and we have the highlights very Oppo F19 Pro moments. I mean, these were the crazy plays that we witnessed in this first map.
Yeah, certainly. These are all the action from the game in the other. We saw a lot of action coming in from both these sports clearly. 15 kills, big number coming in for this. Ship always plays a very crucial part, right? And this is what we experience over here as well. Quantum Race trying to survive inside that shack. So a lot of beautiful fights that we witnessed. This was Lost Esports going down against XGeneration. And remember how important that movement was from Tug was. He just came in over there. His teammates were down. He made sure that he clutched onto the moment. And this is how you need that is why you need important players to stand up to you and that really happened. The important thing was he just came inside the fight. If he had just fallen back or maybe decided to disengage, that would have given the opportunity to the team of Lost Esports to just finish the 3 kills over there and sort of regroup. But he decided to come in, broke the heart and got the prize.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, Lost Esports had some sort of chance. I mean, they would have gone for the full wipe off his team. I mean, 3 players were already down. He could have gone for the quick confirmation. But no, he went there. He tried to heal. He tried to make his teammate back in the game. But unfortunately, that was not a lucky day for Lost Esports. Never mind. Let's see what will happen in the next two. Meanwhile, XGeneration, I mean, the way Rahman played, it was just fantastic. And look at the spray transfer. I mean, the way he was just spraying on that buggy, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. I mean, we spotted Rahman in some good kills over here already, right? So he's definitely a player to watch out for. And with XGeneration making the impact in this game, you will soon find them inside the first page of the overall standing, I feel. Quantum Rage now have slowly paced their way onto the hashtag 1 position in freestyle. They're not playing their matches today, remember, so they're going to just get the opportunity to play their 6th game tomorrow. We'll find out how they're going to do, but for now, Quantum Rage is going to hold the podium position, the first position. Team QWERTY is still there. PMPL Esports sort of making a comeback, but they have sort of got some points out of this game. They have risen to the hashtag 9 position, but DS Official missing out on this game. I'm really not happy with their performance over here. XGeneration showing up inside the top 16 just after game their first appearance. What to say about that?
I mean, that's the first game, and we are expecting a lot of crazy players are coming in the next maps. And Team Bablu, as you mentioned, they got the caliber for the next map. That's going to be the map of Miramar. Let's see how are they going to perform. For the other teams, I am expecting the best what they can show to us, and I am really expecting some crazy plays in the next one, because we have seen a lot of good plays, a lot of good strategies coming out from teams of Group C, and that was their just first game. So 4 more to go, and they have a lot of time, a lot of maps to play.
Certainly, they have a lot of time to play. And QWERTY, Team I8 also did a pretty decent job over there. I believe they had 29 points at the start of the day. Now they're on to 35. So they got 6 or 7 points out of this game. It's not a really bad performance considering the fact that they lost Rinda quite early in this game. So really, they're not have to worry over here. There's not a lot of things that is lost. They're just moving in the right direction. That's like 9-1 good game. They're back inside the top page, the front page over there. And, they're certainly making the climb, and this was expected from day number 2, because by the end of the day, I8 would be completing their 10 matches. We're going to watch the remaining 4 matches certainly, but that is going to be on the other side of this short break.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Zone 4G, official partner of PUBG Mobile in Pakistan. PUBG Mobile का real मजा सिर्फ Zone 4G पर. Let's get digital.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to PUBG Mobile National Championship Pakistan 2021, sponsored by the Oppo F19 Pro. And this is the day number 2. And now I've got Cracky here with me. Cracky, Portal Esports winning the game number 1. Team Bablu, what are you expecting? Are they going to win the game number 2 in Miramar?
I mean, I certainly think that because the hype you have created to me that they got the hold of the map, I am certainly excited for that. And let's see how it's going to go eventually. Meanwhile, these are going to be the 8 teams from Group C, and the rest are going to be from Group B. Total of 16 teams are going to play in the map of Miramar, and I am super excited once again to see the action-packed game because this is the biggest map of all, and a lot of long range fights that we are going to expect in this one.
Something that we should not forget, but that by the end of the 6th day of the semi-finals, all the teams would have played 20 matches, and then only the top 16 are going to the finale, and that is what we are here for, right? That is the filtration for the best 24 Pakistan teams to the best 16 is what is happening over here, and we're witnessing some high octane encounters in the game, and clearly Portal Esports getting that 15 kill chicken dinner in the last game. They've set up the tone for the day. Now the plane path for Miramar right in front of us. Take us through the plane path track.
I mean, this playing path, I mean, kind of similar to, I mean, if you compare the synchronistic one, it's quite similar. But yeah, it's starting from the northeastern side, southeastern side of the map that's going to be played in the Palacio and going to end towards the mountain overview. So yeah, any team trying to go towards near the area of Til Hasyana Petron, it will be easy for them. But the teams who likes to go towards the El Azhar area or maybe to the northern side of the map, they might have to face some sort of issues there.
Certainly, and I'm really disappointed. DS official, just 3-man squad. They were having such a wonderful day yesterday. They should have capitalized on it and really did not have a very good opener over there inside the day number 2. But now in this Miramar game, they have turned up as a 3-man team. So not a really good sign for them. I see all the other teams are perfectly a 4-man squad. So let's see. They're going to have a decent game. I popping inside Los Leonos over there. Max in North Esports, not very far off. And Puerto Palacio, the city from where the plane path started, is completely vacant. So that's a good space. And we have a decent circle as well. So not a lot of unusual things happening in the start of the games over here. But let's see how the teams are going to occupy this game. Because clearly, I think around 10 to 12 teams are finding themselves already inside the playing area.
Yeah, I mean, the first circle is obviously favoring that, and that's not, as you mentioned, it's not that bad circle. So, yeah, I mean, in the first circle, we won't be having much of those actions. But what I really expect to see is on Picado, how many teams are going to go there, how that hot drop is going to get played. And on Lost Leons, we have 2 teams. Alongside I8, there's one more.
Yeah, we have one more team over there. So we'll see how the things are going to go off in the cities, in the big cities of Los Llanos and Picado, just as you mentioned. And there was a different city of El Pozo that was being looted by the team of North Esports as well. Now, clearly, look at this. Los Llanos is a big city, the biggest city in the PUBG mobile universe, right? And
Yeah.
clearly, a lot of space for the players to loot up. So they're just going to loot up quite early. And let's talk about the team of I8. We've seen them in some big tournaments, like the exposure that they carry. But it's always very interesting when you are just the only team from the region and you carry a lot of burden and expectations behind you, and you're ready to sort of challenge yourselves to the limits. We've seen them fight against all teams of Pakistan in a brilliant way. And I'm really happy to see these lads over here. What are your views about the team of I8? They've been so spectacular around the globe over here.
Yeah, I mean, they are indeed. And I mean, dropping towards the area of Los Leons, I mean, it's my read, but I really think I have seen a lot of circles coming towards the Los Leons city in the final circle. So I mean, Los Leons might be the best city to go in, and one player from Team Unpredictabl dying by just dropping off that vehicle. So it's finally gonna get back in the game. So what do you think? Am I like really cool about that? That Los Leons is always the one to look out for in the last circles?
I always love a Los Llanos final circle, Cracky. That is something I always want to happen inside any Miramar game, and that is sort of the perfect ending for me because it's so much concrete cover for these teams. Those tricks and tips come into the play. How are you going to make your move? Smokes becomes your best friend suddenly when it's an
Yeah.
urban finish, and it's a city like Los Llanos. And we know that big high construction tower over there, right? That gives that also if someone is going to just mount on top of it, it gives a different, completely eagle eye view of the entire city. But by the looks of it, I don't think there's going to be a lot of action inside Los Llanos. North Esports, okay, so North Esports are also looting up
Yeah,
inside Los Llanos as well. That is Portal Esports
yeah,
looting up El Pozo. So two teams occupying Los Llanos right now, but we have only one team inside Picado. That is what you were looking for. So not a lot of
yeah.
contests from Picado quite early, but it's too early to say, right? It's so towards the center of the circle that you don't know that the shift might just take more teams, make more teams to go towards Picado.
Yeah, maybe it could be it. But towards the San Martins today, we might be having some teams. That's going to be Team ELM. Alongside them, it's Team DES, including the Hacienda del Pentron area. I mean, they might be having some sort of action there if they see each other rotating over. I mean, if they see them coming in the open, they might be having some sort of action there. So, as you mentioned, we don't have much teams close to each other, though. I mean, this first circle is not going to show us much. So we are expecting in the second circle. And what I really expect that if the circle comes, I mean, towards the northern side or the southern side, the players, the way they rotate, that's going to be the big thing to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely. That is going to be very interesting to watch out for. And just as you mentioned, even the team of Team Bablu is finding themselves outside the zone, right? So it's going to be very interesting for teams like Team Bablu, I8, these big lads from the region. How are they going to make their move inside the first circle? Because clearly your first position plays a big role inside Miramar.
Yeah,
If
it
you're
does.
yeah, if the circle shifts towards your first hold position, you are inside the vicinity already, and now teams are going to come inside your frame, so you're going to clearly get the information. It's very impossible to someone just hide and sneak their way inside a Miramar and get close to you, because you see a lot of open landscapes around you, and with those big guns and scopes out there, you can actually control a lot of area, at least get the information that this team is trying to close in from here. But for now, the team of Death Squad is sort of closing in towards the city of St. Martin, very close to just towards that power grid area now. And they've got those vehicles. They're going to have their eyes on the city of Picado as well. Let's see what sort of an impact they're going to make, because right now they are just at the dead center of this entire first circle.
Yeah, for now. But the second circle will certainly change some of the things. I8 and alongside them, it's Team XGeneration rotating alongside them. So maybe they might be having some sort of contacts there. They might be trying to shoot through the vehicles. And if that happens, I8 will be the one to lose the first player, because as we can see, a lot of teams rotating together. Team XGeneration, I mean, they are quite together, and Team I8 is quite split up there.
Yeah, we had an interesting game for both these two teams as well. And yesterday we saw I8 getting stuck inside some rotations as well. So that is also going to play in the back of Trinda's mind. And let's see how they are going to control the proceedings over here, because clearly they have the best gun power inside the lobby, but they're just sort of struggling inside the semi-final stage. I don't think they're going to struggle for a lot of time, and they're definitely going to stage their comeback. And in this game only, I feel like that I8 is sort of going to change the proceedings of the overall standings completely. But we'll find that out if that happens or not. But we have other teams as well who are trying to make their way, eliminate sort of looting up compounds and split that is towards the northern edge. So a different team. Let's see what Eliminate is going to do today, because clearly they had a good chance in Erangel. They missed it out.
Yeah, they eventually did. But let's see what they are going to do in this one, because I mean, the Miramar map, if you get complete hole, if you get the compound very early, and the circle also favors you, you can do a lot of damage. A lot of damage can be done, because I mean, there's not much cover available if any team try to come into any compound. I mean, there's not much cover available in the open, and you can do wonders by staying there.
You certainly can, because you get a lot of information. Now look at this. Tide 110, 420 on your screen. He's spotted a rotation very far off in the landscape, and he will certainly get that information and use it. Just like you mentioned in the last game, Crackit, that the timing is really important, right? You need to get that information at the correct time and sort of change your decision or change your rotation at the right amount of time, so that you don't fall into a trap or something. But XGeneration holding a higher ground, a higher ridge just towards the eastern side of Picado. I8 have moved in towards the western side slightly, and multiple teams sort of converging towards the center. Look at the clusters over there.
Yeah.
So many colors inside there, and Team Bablu also sort of making their way over there.
I mean, all of them are ready to, go for that action, and this second circle will be coming anytime soon. But before that, we have our first airdrop coming in. That's going to be having an AUG, and alongside with it, we have a level 3 vest and a level 3 helmet, and a adrenaline syringe as well. So, I mean, to keep you boosted up. So that's going to be the first drop, and it's super close to Team I8. I mean, if you get that AUG in the early game, I mean, that could be really, really amazing, because the way AUG, goes, it's just fantastic to use the weapon.
Yeah, certainly. It's an amazing, amazing weapon. The stability you get with AUG and the distance you can cover with that AUG is certainly amazing. So we have the first drop already. We have the second circle already. We are about to reach the 10-minute mark, but we don't have the first blood. Not even a single knock till now. So that is how low this game has been. And this is certainly not going to be the story. 10 minutes from now, these teams are certainly going to go berserk on each other, and we are just heading towards that chaotic final circles over here, and teams are just making sure they have the appropriate amount of loot inside their bags so that they can make an impact over there. And this is a very important game inside the context of what is happening over here. Team Bablu would like to stretch what they started inside the Erangel. They would like to do that domination over here, but you might just have the first knock over here, but clearly not. Vaz decides to disengage. But yes, Oreo has been pulled off over here. But look at that, Team Bablu also into equation. They have pulled down Johnny. So three teams quite close to each other. Johnny has been pulled down here by Team Wolf. Museum is sort of making an impact over here in this fight. So let's see how Team Bablu is going to handle this situation, because clearly these are the two giants from the region inside this map right now, and going quite early up against each other head to head. This is I8 versus Team Bablu.
And that's the first blood right there onto Johnny. And I mean, that's the first kill for Team Bablu as well. So, I mean, it's going to be a 3v4 fight now, but Crypto having such a good position. The height advantage, the vision, I mean, the positioning, it's super good, and he can do wonders from here. He's trying to get some sort of vision there, but the teammates of Team Bablu is going to find Crypto in open, and the knock with that mini is there. Second man down for Team I8, and now the players are closing in on I8. One more goal down, and the whole team now. Khan getting one, and Team Wolf getting two for him.
Team Bablu eliminates I8 in Miramar. The domination for Team Bablu continues, but the wreck for I8 also continues with it. They were certainly not expecting this to happen with them inside the day number 2 over here, and I wasn't even expecting this. I was thinking that they would be more calm today and they would head into a fight more easily. But the way they were controlling those ridge, they allowed Team Bablu to come in so close. Crypto on the high ground, it was an advantageous position. He was trying to get that opening onto the lads of Team Bablu, but he was exposed, and that is how Team Bablu sort of created an opening over there. And then over the ridges, Museum was pulled down. This is not what we were expecting out of I8 over here today.
First team already out, and that's Team I8, from which you had a lot of expectations. But I mean, Bablu, I mean, they are there to ruin that. For now, we have 15 teams of 59 players alive, and this is now the second zone closing in. After this, the third circle will be very important for most of the teams, and let's see if we are going to have a hard shift or not.
Ooh, that is certainly going to be the thing. But I know how the atmosphere is tense right now, Cracky.
I know.
I8 out of the equation. Team Bablu responsible for it. Wow, Team Bablu fans are absolutely going to love it. But I8, their bad run is just not deciding to stop. And no one in the world expected this to happen to I8 inside the semi-final stage. The way these first 7 matches have gone against I8, I don't think the good performance is very far away. They are certainly going to turn up with that A game pretty soon. But meanwhile, we have other teams inside the lobby. North Esports sort of making an impact over there. They've got one lad from Tier 110 who are also not having a very good competition, to be really honest. But look at this. Mage now under the radar. He somehow gets away from that M4 spray.
I mean, he had the chance, he had the timing, he had everything to take him down, but no, he is going to miss the opportunity. And now, all of the 4 players are going to survive there. They caught one player already out from Team Cairo, and they'll be looking to find more.
Certainly, and look at this. Even XGeneration is going to have a good chance over here to make an impact. I saw them inside the vicinity, very close into the backdrops, making a rotation where just where these teams are fighting right now. And the city of Picaro not very far away. We already have the third circle. I don't see the lines over here, so clearly Picaro inside with third circle as well, and it was pretty close to the center. So the circle not getting a very hard step, to be really honest. But right now, look at this. North Esports, they are getting pinned down, and the flank position from Zion is certainly coming into equation, and that is hurting. Now, Daku, he really needs to clear that player away. If he can, then maybe North Esports sort of can regroup and fight this team of Tyro away from the situation.
I mean, yes, they can, but the team North Esports, they are going to try their level best to capitalize on the situation. One player from Team North Esports got taken out, but he is certainly back at the game. And now Team Tyro losing the second player. It's the last man. That's going to be Zayn very far away from their teammates. And I mean, I don't think that he will be available for his teammates to support them to make them back in the game.
But on the other side, the lads of Dead Squad have also taken up high ground. So the problems for North Esports is not reducing. So they clearly have decided to engage in this push. Mustafa and his teammates under a lot of trouble right now. It's going to be a clear-up job that is going to be done here by North Esports. The flying position from Zion was still troubling them a lot, but I think he's going to be the only survivor for his team, because clearly North Esports have completely taken control of this compound. Now they got to deal with Dead Squad on the other side of the ridges, but this is not what Tyro was expecting for them to happen. And Unpredictable getting some kills for themselves towards the northwestern edge. I see Random 4 in the backdrop, and there's another team that is coming from outside the circle. That is Eliminate. We saw them lurking around towards the northern edge, right? And now they are trying to enter slightly from the western side. So the rotation has been spotted. They're taking some damage from the blue. I think it's a smart decision at this point, using that sort of valley, but it could just go against them if they get spotted. They got to be really, really cheeky about this.
Yeah, I mean, 3 players already out for Team Tyro, and now the last one, that's going to be Zayn, has to carry out the whole game all by himself. And look at the circle shift towards the northeastern area of the map. And I mean, most of the teams are out of the circle, and only 3 to 4 are in. I mean, this could be the situation where all these 4 teams do a lot of damage whosoever tries to come in.
And look at that, one of the vehicles of Eliminate Esports getting caught in rotation. They were not cheeky enough. And look at that, the second vehicle might blow up as well. This might just be the end. Close. Pouring lead onto that rotation. Even Husnat might have some shots over there. And that is it. Husnat blows up the vehicle. ELM Esports, that big rotation, sort of goes as a failure down there. And they have been eliminated completely out of the game.
Yeah, they are going to get taken out. I mean, whatsoever you try, whatsoever you decide to rotate, I mean, if you rotate super close to the compounds, get ready to get, sprayed at. And that's what happened with ELM Esports. Yeah, getting out of the game very early, and now we're left with 40 teams.
Definitely, Kaki. Inside a game of Miramar in this competitive lobby, you cannot execute these long rotations, right? You got to take head stops, you got to stop and hold up position. But look at this. Team Bablu, this is Quantum Rage. Those are leading the chart. Table toppers against the Miramar thing happening right here in front of you from the Pakistan region. Adil being pulled down there. Tani barely survives that knock. He's on that magic pixel. A big nade coming in from the lads of Team Bablu. They need another opening, and then this might just be the... Oh, look at that big nade coming in. Adil eliminated. Another nade follows up. Oreo goes down this time. This is Zipian and the lads of Team Bablu making a significant impact over the team of Quantum Rage. They are holding the table for now inside the semi-finals and getting pinned down here. 420 gets 1 kill on his name. Still 2 players standing. Boss has been pulled down now. Weekend, you gotta get away from here. Just run away from the situation. That is how only Quantum Rage might survive.
I mean, that's the only thing that they need to do right now. You need to survive. But if you engage like this and lose 3 players, I mean, no trades, nothing, it's game on. Team Bablu, the perfect usage of throwables were there. And now, Zipian not stopping today with his mini. He finds one, trying to capitalize on it completely.
Wow. Team Bablu dominating this lobby completely. Look at that, already 7 kills under their belt right now. They're holding the western edge of the circle, this compound just outside the area right now, completely in control of Team Bablu. But I really feel they've got to make a rotation, because clearly it's a good position now, but certainly 1 minute from now, when the 4th circle would have closed in, it's not going to be a very good spot, and then they might find themselves stuck out towards the western edge. A lot of open ground to cover, but another rotation being cut out here by Max Esports. They heard Eliminate Esports as well into the rotation. They got 2 kills out of them. But look at this, Max Esports now sort of getting the fight back from Unpredictable over here. This is an amazing game happening towards the western edge, a map absolutely lacking. And far towards the southern side, we saw Team Bablu. They're still there inside the backdrop. You can watch them. But Unpredictable sort of giving a lot of trouble to Max over there.
Getting punished from left, right, and center. Unpredictable down to just last man, and so is for Team R4. It's the last man either. So let's see how are they gonna play it, and how are they gonna carry out the whole game.
Certainly, Max Esports eliminated. R4, as you mentioned, they were the last pair. And Lost Esports also get eliminated onto the ridges over there. Team XGeneration is moving from that area. They're sort of making those spaces because they're clearing out the clusters quite beautifully. And Portal Esports also losing players. That is Team Bablu hurting even one more team. They're adding on to their kills right now. And look at XGeneration on one side. They have North Esports on the high ground where they're trying to target right now. And on the other side, they got to deal with Death Squad. This is a very tricky situation for XGeneration. They got to be really cautious. If they just find themselves out in the open spaces, they will be punished, and that is what they got to be really be careful about.
3 teams just down to a single player. That's Team LS, Tyro, and Team QR. I mean, how are they going to carry it? Can you just explain? Because it's going to be really hard for them to survive in the last circle. The players, the manpower from everywhere is going to try to take them down. And now Team Bablu raising all 2 players back in the game, back to 3-man squad. And let's see how they're going to carry out, because they have got 10 kills till now.
10 kills till now, and they have cleared up the area around them. Look at those ridges just very close to where Team Bablu is. They do not have to go towards those open spaces, which I was predicting a little while earlier. They can clearly get control of that southwestern ridge using those ridges. So that's a very good advantage for Team Bablu, and I don't think they are going to miss out on this opportunity over here. And meanwhile, Tyro still in this compound. We have got North Esports sort of trying to still prevail over here. That is the one last guy remaining over there. Let's see what sort of an impact he's going to do. And Quantum Rage eliminated here already. They were having such a wonderful time. The last guy we saw just getting away from the grasp of Team Bablu. He's been also picked off over here, eliminated out of this Miramar game.
And Team North Esports looking super good till now. And there goes one more pick. That's going to be for Mage. He is going to take down Rahman, the most valuable person in the last game.
certainly he had an amazing impact in the last game, but let's see how the lads of XGeneration are going to do without him over there. But currently North Esports clearly just one lad in front of them, giving them a lot of trouble, to be really honest, but they have not lost teammate till now. That is the advantage situation, so being cautious for them is sort of working in their favor. But now look at the split situation. Even Zamin goes down. I want to see how it goes down over there, but XGeneration being pulled off. They are the next target of Team Bablu over there. They have eliminated yet another strong team out of the context, and I am absolutely loving what Team Bablu is doing to this lobby.
I mean, Teen Wall found 2 knocks with those grenades, and I mean, he blew the final blow with that Corel, and that was a 3 kill for him. And Bablu with total of 12 kills, they are not stopping today. I really think Team Bablu is dominating the whole lobby, and right now we are left with 7 teams and 20 players in this game.
Next in their track is DS towards the right hand side, towards the southern part. DS is sort of trying to catch the zone over there, and they are being stopped by Team Bablu holding a very important pick. But Bablu, they got to be cautious now because the time is ticking. The clock is ticking right behind them. 25 seconds. They are still outside the zone. They haven't used the ridges so far to get close to the edge of the new circle, and that might just be the mistake they do not want to make at this point. And this is going to be a very important decision from Team Bablu. When are they going to decide to make that rotation? The timing factor you mentioned, Cracky, is coming back into the equation. Look at that. Slowly and steadily, Team Bablu is trying to come down towards that lower ground, and that is where they're going to be really cautious. He is trying to sort of prevail over here. North Esports coming in from the eastern side, takes one more player down from DS, and the man disadvantage coming into play. Hasni, the last guy, is standing here for Team DS Official, sort of losing the revive. But where is the 4th lad? That is my question for DS Official. And Lost Esports also gets eliminated in their pursuit to enter the 6th circle over here. But look at North Esports, the way they have been controlling the circles from the northern side. They are up for a really good game, and this is what I was talking about. Team Bablu getting caught off guard. They are getting caught inside the open grounds, and North Esports from the eastern edge might just give them very good damage over here.
I mean, not just them, it's also Team DES who is having the taste of that spoon. But right now, what I really feel is Team DES they are having a very, very bad day right now. They are struggling there. But on the other side, we have Team Death Squad fighting against Bablu in the close range combat. And Dave Wolf is going to do a lot of damage, barely breathing, 1 HP onto the player of 4V.
Yeah, he's going aggressively. He's just trying to pin them now. It's just a matter of time. Even North Esports giving lead from the distance. So spray coming in from M416. Teen Wolf still surviving over there. 420 goes down and eventually does Teen Wolf. And Team Bablu, if you're listening to this, the time delay that you did onto the rotation in the sixth circle, that is what has costed you. You had the ridges with you. You should have just made the rotation a little bit earlier and you would have been in a better position and you could have caught off guard over there. But that is the sad part over here. They have a really decent game. They got so many kills, around 15 kills. That is what Team Bablu have got, around 15 kills. But now North Esports are certainly controlling this game.
4 teams, 12 players, all 4 teams for now certainly in the circle, but after this sixth circle getting closed in, the teams have to move in. But Daku is going to take down one player instantly, and as a trade, he gets taken out as well.
Certainly he gets taken out as well. But look at this. This is a very good opportunity for teams like Knockout over here, for teams like Dead Squad, even DS Official. Hasni managed the revive over there.
Yeah,
Somehow North Esports got their attention on Team Bablu and Dead Squad. That allowed DS Official to bloom very close to them. They're just on the other side of the bridge. Not a very good position, to be really honest, but they got that space, they got that time, and that is how they're still surviving over there. Now they are trying to make an impact, create an opening over the higher ground for North Esports over there. And the problem for North Esports is the higher ground, they are getting spotted by Knockout as well. So multiple teams trying to pick off players from North Esports right now. They got to smoke their area. They are somehow trying to survive. And look at this. Taku goes down. Terry makes that opening. Husky trying to close in, but Knockout is not allowing them. Controlling the entire circle from the northern edge right now. This is Team Knockout. They're playing a completely different kind of a game. This is a team that barely managed to enter inside the semi-final stage. They ended up on the hashtag 23 position, but now they are controlling this all-important Miramar game on the day number 2. Even DS Official, one lad trying to survive. Taku and Mage under a lot of pressure, and Knockout from the lower ground. They are sort of trying to prevail over this eastern edge and trying to control the game. Let's see if they're going to manage to do it or not.
The last man on Team DES is trying to sneak in towards Team North Esports, and let's see how can he do. His location is not compromised yet, and he is the one who can do a lot of damage because he has the circle advantage and he can spot a lot of players. I mean, they won't be expecting him. He can wipe out the whole team, and with the TPB, he can see that he is letting the players of Team KO do the damage with those grenades, with those throwables. He's just waiting patiently. He's so calm there. He is just waiting for the perfect time to take out those 2 players out of the game in a single spray, but no, he's gonna get spotted, and that's the exit for him out of the game.
Yeah, that's the exit for him. But look at that. The complete squad of Knockout still surviving. But they got to be aware. Exotic is holding the backlines for them. I think Draco is aware of it. He's taking the 1v1 against him. But now Draco gets picked off from Daku. What have you done, North Esports? He was sort of helping you. But let's see what is going to happen over there against... Oh, he's pulled off one lad from Knockout as well. So I'm sorry. Exotic is still there. He's sort of helping North Esports get this chicken. Now North Esports base goes in for the push. This is an amazing decision coming from North Esports. I did not expect this to happen. But now it's a 3v1 situation for Exotic. North Esports doing some big mistake. But Exotic sort of punishing Team Knockout over here. And he's just the solo player. Teddy, you got to take up the responsibility, my friend. You're going to complete this chicken dinner for your team. Let's see if Dani and his teammate Teddy are going to pull this off over there. A big nade coming in from Teddy. Let's see if it gives some damage over here to the fans over there. Ooh, very close, but no damage.
Yeah, and now he is going to push in Exotic, trying his level best, getting cover to cover. He knows that one player is super low to HP, and he is the one who is going to clutch it out, but no!
Yup, that is the end, and Knockout. What a game for Team Knockout here as we witness them control this final circle, carrying all 4 players inside the final circle, making sure to decimate all the squad coming in from the eastern and the southern side as well. They clear the remainings from the southern side brilliantly over there. I really like that cameo from Exotic in the final circle, but he was certainly pulled down. A 12-kill chicken dinner for this team of Knockout. They were #23 in the group stages, but certainly they're going to be in a very good position considering they've got a chicken dinner quite early inside the semi-finale, and that is really, really going to help their campaign over here.
Yeah, total of 27 points, 15 of those second inner and 12 kill points. I mean, that's great play coming in from Team Knockout. And we have our most valuable player, that is Teddy, with a total of 6 kills, 724 damage, and 2 assists as well.
Well, his name is Teddy, but his enemies did not like him there so much. 6 kills, look at the damage, 724, 2 assists under his belt. Really a big performance coming in. No one expected Team Knockout to do this today. Team Bablu was controlling the 85% of the game, but the remaining 15 was controlled by North Esports. And after that, the last minute, the last final circle, Team Knockout, it looked like certainly they wanted to use their man advantage, which they had played so beautifully over there. And Teddy made sure he got some important kills under his belt over there. And look at Bablu, Khan 420, even he got 6 kills out of this game. He got even more damage, but the survival time coming into the equation and Teddy giving them.
I mean, yeah, they got the chicken dinner as well. So, I mean, Team Bablu was super good in the first 15 minutes mark. And, I mean, they were just chilling and they were killing people. But unfortunately, they didn't manage, to get till the last circle. If they managed, to get themselves till the last circle, they could have got the chicken dinner. But for now, that's the end for them. As we move forward, we have the match summary. Teddy with 6 kills, the most of the highest kills.
And look at Daku once again making an appearance inside the match summary. We have seen them do so good over there, 768 damage for him. But look at this, Teen Wolf's performance. He's been spectacular, splendid performance coming in from Teen Wolf over here. 6 maximum assists for him. That's an amazing number. And his team was doing so good. And look at Team Bablu, they got 12 kills. Around 15 I was saying, but they got 12 kills to be really precise. 18 points out of this game for Team Bablu. They're going to be really happy with their performance. But Team Knockout going away with all important 27 points. It was a good game for North Esports as well. So all these three teams sort of prevailed over here. But I really like that DS Official could pull off 11 points. They just came in 3-man squad. So they're going to be really happy with this performance. But what is going wrong with i8 Esports over there? That is something I'm not able to understand. Still 3 more games in the day. Let's see how i8 is going to respond.
Yeah, I mean, but Team Bablu took them out at the very beginning of the game. And I mean, i8 stood no chance, coming up in the game. So let's see what they have to offer in the next 3 games. That's going to be the map of Sanhok. Let's see. What are your expectations from Team i8 now? What do you have? You have noticed their play style. What do you think they're going to do in the next match?
I think the third game of Erangel is going to be really important, Kraki, because yesterday it was the third game only when that i8 sort of started to slip out on the situation. And at this point, Victor was just overcommitting himself. And that is what he does, and that is what gives him rewards, right? So you cannot just criticize him for the kind of gameplay and the aggressive stance that he was holding up. The way he just went off guard a little bit, it happens. And I think his teammates should have sort of given him that extra bit of caution and cover so that he could, even if he gets knocked, you get that extra bit of time. They could have just tried to win that fight just downside of the ridge, and it was Uzium over there with Trinda, I believe. They were both pinned down in a 2v2 fight, and that is something I feel that i8 should have won. That could have given that extra bit of time for that trip to revival, which was clearly denied over there. But Team Bablu, they were playing this game right on the 5th gear from the very early stage of the game. So clearly they were in the advantage position. They had the confidence going in over there and getting some good points into the kills.
I mean, yeah, but certainly in this game, you need to be surviving till the last circle. Killing people, I mean, yes, you get a lot of points, but at least you need to deal till they're in the top 5. But Team Bablu, I mean, they tried their level best to go aggressively since the very beginning, since the very start, and they managed to get 12 kills. I mean, on the 14-minute marker, on the 14-minute timer on the game, they were having those 12 kills on board.
Yeah, but certainly, I remember I spotted it that they got to make that rotation early from the Western Edge, right? But this is we are casters, right? We have this extra bit of information. but clearly Team Bablu does not have that information over there, right? So they just got to learn with the experience that in these sort of a circles, you've really got to make sure that you come when you got this ridge protection, you got those covers to play with. Just make sure you enter there before any other team comes up over there. And they were trying to do that a little bit late. I think just 30 seconds late. If they had tried to execute this move just 30 seconds earlier, you never know, we could have had a different story. But in the overall standings, Quantum Rage still managing that very fine thin lead over Freestyle are not going to be here. But look at this knockout. Who expected them to be inside the top 3 by the end of this Miramar game? But here they are inside the top 3. I8 struggling on 11th. Knockout inside top 3. They are having an amazing time. Even look at Team Bablu just after 2 matches. They are here in the 13th position.
I mean, certainly after those 3 maps being played, they are going to be in the top 10. I guess that. And meanwhile, but let's see what's going to happen there. For this game, after the game number 7, we still have Honor Brains on the top. And Knockout, I mean, before this game, they had 33 total of points. And after this game, they are on 60 points marker. So let's see what they have to offer in the next upcoming 3 maps. And if they do good, just like this game, I mean, first position is not so far.
Yeah, certainly it is not very far away. And Team Knockout, they qualified on the hashtag 23 spot in the group stages. And now they are finding themselves on the 3rd. Top 16 are going to the finale. They couldn't have found a better spot. This underdog team is doing wonders in the initial stages of the semi-final. And they should make sure they stick inside the top 16 by the end of the semi-finale. But we are going to watch what is going to happen inside the rest 3 games in the day, but on the other side of this very short break.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Zone 4G, official partner of PUBG Mobile in Pakistan. PUBG Mobile का real मजा सिर्फ Zone 4G पर. Let's get digital.
Hello, guys, and welcome back once again to PUBG Mobile National Championship 2021, sponsored by the Oppo F19 Pro. I am Trooper. I've got Cracky here with me, and we have witnessed two amazing games, Cracky, from the semi-finale already. What are your expectations from the third game over here?
Now the map is going to be Erangel, and I am having high hopes from the teams like I8, Bablu. The way these teams played in the last games, I mean, that was fantastic. But Team Bablu, as you mentioned, they needed to rotate early into the circle, and if they did that, I mean, if they would have done that, that would have been amazing. But Team KO knockout, I mean, coming up on the top, getting that chicken dinner for themselves in the 24 matches of group stages. They got a total of 603 damage, and these 7 matches they got 74 damage average. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, so clearly they have improved, right? For the occasion, they
lot.
have come up with a better performance, and this is certainly going to help their cause. 2.42 kills, that is what they were getting before the start of the semi-finale, and it's almost reaching 3.5. So clearly that's a big spike for this team, and they really need to continue this good work over here. Only and only then they would be allowed that slot inside the top 16, inside the finale of the PUBG Mobile National Championship Pakistan region. If they're going to be there or not, we're going to find that for sure. But they're having an amazing time on the day number 2. Let's hope they just continue.
I mean, a great teamwork was showed by the players of Team Knockout, and if they continue the same, they are going to get a lot of crazy picks, a lot of kills, and a good position in the end game circle. Once again, we have our playing path starting from the Sosno military base island and ending towards the side, very close to the Saki. So I mean, it's not that centric, but yeah, many teams who like to go towards military, Pochinki, Farm School, Rozok, Georgia Pol Hospital, Gatka, Primos. I mean, it's going to be very easy for them. But the teams who like to go towards Melta, Mansion, Yasnaya, Stalber, Kameshki, Lipovka, I mean, it's going to be hard for them. But let's see how are they going to go there. I mean, if we are going to see some of those vehicle fights, car fights, I mean, that's going to be interesting.
I think clearly ELM is not going towards Lipovka this time. So they're going for that QWERTY drop. And it's going to be interesting what Quantum Rage is going to decide, because we saw them inside the Milta Power and the Milta Factory area last time. And let's see if we, and clearly in this sort of a tilt, the vehicle fights are certainly a possibility. If that is going to come up, I'm going to get really excited over here. But I think the performance from Knockout is sort of going to give a lot of inspiration and maybe lift the spirits of other underdog teams inside the lobby. Even teams like TMW, Lost Esports, even they are not having this big run over here. Let's see if they are going to get inspired and put up some amazing show. And that is what I'm looking for. But the circle
Whoa.
picks it. First, I'm sorry, Cracky. Look at this circle over here.
I mean, this is going to be interesting. In the first circle, we already have 30% of the area covered by water, and I mean, very less land area. So you can just expect a lot of action in the first half.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot of action is expected inside the first half. But the important thing is, where is the circle going to finish? Where are the final circles going to be? Either towards the Primos Quarry region or maybe towards the military island. And that is going to trouble a lot of players. And that is when the teams like I8 get this advantage with their experience over the military bridge area. They have this opportunity in this game to sort of exploit those decision makings that the IGLs are going to have in a little bit of time over there, and they can control the bridge. They know how to. We have seen them do that at the world level as well, and that is what is going to come into equation in this Erangel game. And they're certainly looking for a big match. Let's see if they're going to have it.
I mean, as you were asking, where the circle is going to be, it could be in the water. We have seen water circles as well as the final circle, but let's see. I mean, eventually the players are going to decode the things. They are going to strategize themselves. What are they going to do? But for now, we have two teams super close to each other towards the QWERTY area. That's going to be Team ELM. Along with them is going to be Team Portal Esports. Team SP is gonna, Team XGeneration is gonna just rotate in and go towards mansion or maybe shelter area to loot for themselves.
Yeah, that is a possibility for them, but this is just the early phase, right? The teams need those early loot right now, and clearly,
Yeah.
next generation heading towards that area. But already we have got some action that is shaping up inside the center half of the circles already. This is very close to the quarry region, just towards the western side, and we already see ELM Esports trying to change things over here for them, and we saw them having a good Erang in the last outing. but clearly they were sort of ripped apart inside the game in Miramar. Now, once again, they are back in Erangel, Portal Esports, quite close to them, but the disengaging factor, sort of the smart decision coming in from both the teams at this point is clearly of the way to go over here. And look at this. A lot of teams, a lot of cluster outside the zone over that Georgia Pool and Zaki area. That is going to play a big part because even teams like Dead Squad are going to rotate from that area itself. So a lot of action is expected from the northern edge of the circle here. Let's see what's going to happen over here.
Yeah, and as in the first circle, Team I8 doesn't need to move. I mean, they can get some sort of better position. I mean, they can go aggressively towards the bridge. They can just hold there then and can do wonders by just sitting there for some time. But be careful. I mean, if some teams try to come in from the Milta bridge, it could be a problem. It could be a bit of a problem. But for now, they are super chill. They are looting the whole military island by themselves. No other team is going to disturb them for now. But meanwhile, we have Team Gyro starting the early rotation. They will be trying to get the early hold, and it's also Team Max who is going for that early rotation. I mean, we might have a lot of cluster being happening towards that bridge area.
That is certainly a possibility. This is certainly going to play up. But as we witnessed in the last game as well, it was a very slow start towards the starting phase, right? Inside in Miramar as well. But in Erangel as well, we're having a slow start. So that clearly tells you how serious these teams are actually taking this. The disengagement from QWERTY, there's no sort of urgency in the teams that have clustered towards the Georgia Pool area to get into a fight. They really know the importance of looting up first and getting prepared for the battle because they know how difficult it is to get multiple, like double-digit points out of a single game. You got to really control the game, get good frags or get a good positioning points, get inside the final four maybe. Only then you are able to get double-digit points out of this game, and that is why you see these sort of gaming styles from the player. And I absolutely love the seriousness coming in from these lads. They're sensing the opportunity, the importance of the opportunity, and they are trying to maximize it. This is an important factor for the region, and I'm really seeing a very bright future for this entire region to be.
Yeah, me too. And Team Max Esports, I mean, having some sort of intention, to capitalize this compound. They're trying to get the hold of it, but it's already being taken by Team Gyro. I mean, they won't be giving them it for free. I mean, you need to have some sort of action there. You need to take a battle against them to win this compound. And I mean, Team Gyro, they have one player split up to see what's going on, how when they are pushing, what they are deciding, what is going to be their strategy to take the compound, to take a fight, or they are falling back. But once again, let me tell you, as being a flanker, you have to be very careful. If any other team spots you, you are out of the round, out of the game.
Yeah, certainly, and that is going to be a possibility. But look at this, most of us sort of making a retreat start, sort of regrouping with this team, and that is really very important. You got to understand if your flanks are not working in the right manner that you want them to, and you got to just disengage them, get back with your team, so that you, just like you mentioned, it's a very risky thing to do, and you might just get caught off guard by a third team. Then that is something which I8 was able to pull off in the last game as well. We witnessed them take the flanker off. It was ELM Ripper, I believe, yeah, who got ripped off over there. So these sort of gameplays come in inside the early game and the mid game. Like, you cannot do a flank inside the final circle, right? That is completely impossible to do. But inside the mid game, yep, you got a flank, but you got to flank very, very cautiously because you never know. This is a competitive game. When a team has just closed in on you, when they get this information, they close in, they sneak in, to be really honest, and try to punish you when you give them a slight bit of opening. But this is a good area to control for both these teams now. They're spending a good quality time over here, but let's see if the rotations, the big rotations from the main island sort of come towards this side. And that is only going to happen if the second circle takes the majority area of the military base area right now, military base island. But if that is not going to happen, then these two teams are going to put themselves on the edge. So clearly, strategically, this is a very good point to be inside the map right now.
Yeah, I mean, eventually. But as you mentioned, if the circle goes towards the military island, it will have a lot of water area. So most of the teams that are going to rotate towards the military island, they need to be going with those boats or maybe those vehicles. And if they go from the bridge, I mean, better be careful because you might be getting bridge camped. And meanwhile, ELM Esports, that's going to be Vision was laying in the open. Now, as his location has been compromised, but being prone, he is going to find one for himself. Completely open from left, right, and center. Better be careful. He's going to try to finish up his kill, but on to his forward, there's all of the players from TMW, assembling and trying to take him down.
What was Big Boss doing over there? And Vision was quite exposed out in the open. He was just getting close to him inside the open spaces. Eventually, Vision gets picked off with that mini from Kurama over here, but he certainly should have been picked off seconds earlier by the player Big Boss over there. But let's see now. This elimination is going to come, and it's very impossible to give a revive to Vision over there because the enemies are controlling the high ground pretty close. That is TMW. So they have taken a trade successfully inside the rotation, and they've just managed to get inside the second circle over here. But I clearly feel they could have sort of come up with a better performance over here. They really missed out the trick.
Yeah, it was 1-for-1 for now. So, I mean, both of the teams lost one player each. And now the circle, I am surprised with this because the circle is not showing us one way. I mean, you need to be very careful where the final shift will be coming in. And, I mean, being so confused in the last moment, I mean, you are going to mess things up because if the circle changes towards the military island or maybe it comes towards the main island, the players have to rush them. They won't be having much time to work on the decisions. And I mean, while rushing, they might have to face a lot of teams already waiting for them to come in the circle.
Certainly, and look at how I8 is trying to control the military base bridge. That is going to clear off a lot of space, a lot of play area for these teams, and they are not going to allow any team a free passage, a free toll over that bridge now because they are there. They're going to control it beautifully, and that's going to pose a lot of problems for all these other teams. They got to concentrate only towards the northern half of the map right now, northern half of the river over there. So that's going to be a reduced play area to play. That is going to even concentrate things more, and we have already got the lobby size over 50, around 59, 58 players who are just alive at this point inside the second circle. It's going to spice up things really, really quickly. And look at the cluster that is developing just towards the northern side of the in between the bridge and Pochinki area.
Yeah, not even a single team is anticipating that the circle could go towards the military base. I mean, every single team believes that the circle is going to come to the main island. But if just with that 1% possibility, if the circle goes towards the military island, which is going to eventually happen in the next 40 to 50 seconds, I mean, we are going to see a lot of teams. I mean, forcing each other to get out of the way. And so that they can have some sort of space in the circle.
That is going to be the situation, definitely. But right now, Random 4, they just got a shark to survive over there. Their rotation has completely gone haywire and not a really good position to lose your vehicles, to be really honest. A lot of open spaces that you got to deal with. You just got to hope. Look at this. Is it a push coming in or is it just Span closing in on them? Yes, he's just closing in on the angles. Two players just left standard over there. They really need some help, to be really honest. But look at the push coming in. Psycho with that buggy. He's just closing and he's just picked up a volley. He's trying to tease them over there, and knock comes down over Slayer. The last player as well, he's so down. That is Error. So Random Error down out of the game. Two players down for Random 4.
I mean, 2 free kills for XGeneration. The way the teamwork came into play, it was just fantastic. And now Team R4 losing those 2. And so Bablu is also doing a lot of damage to North Esports.
Yeah. And Team Bablu already inside action. I8 already inside action. So we are heading to a pretty interesting finish in this game. And Portal Esports just trying to control this compound towards the western side of Ferry Pair. It's a very crucial compound, to be really honest. But let's see what sort of an impact they can make. Other teams trying to use that beach area, trying to get inside the circle. And that is certainly a possibility that Portal Esports might just head into a fight with these teams over here. But is that going to happen or not? We're going to find that soon. But what I'm really clearly interested and curious about right now is what is happening towards the military base bridge, an area where I8 is sort of looking to control and prevail. And here we have, they are up against a fight against Max Esports, and utilities being barraged over here, backed one after the other by the lads of I8. And look at that, UJB might just go down over there, and that is a big opening on the lads, and the information is going to rally. And Max, the lads are now going to come out of their compound and sort of try to punish the lads of I8. This is going to be a very crucial push, and Trinda sort of trying to deny other teams in the vicinity to a third party in this fight. but very difficult, crucial position for IA to control, and this things might just go out of hand. Look at Haga over there. He's just trying to control the things, but gets pinned down over there. That is Crypto getting a very important, crucial knock in this fight. Now Johnny enters the space. He's getting shocked from a different angle completely. He takes down Dread, still surviving Johnny out in the smoke. A difficult situation for IA to control. They need an important revive that is upcoming. I believe Crypto is still standing, holding a completely different angle. He gets in there as well. He's going to hold the revive on a different team completely. Trinda arrives at the party, taking shots from the right, still surviving. This is iGate regrouping in between a fight and completely annihilating and eliminating Max Esports.
I mean, I'm finally making a comeback. They are feeling it right now. Johnny finding those 2 picks, and that's such good teamwork by his teammate. It was just fantastic. They were so far away, but then they closed in to support their teammates, and that was a good one. And the circle is now completely on the main island, so no more confusion there. Meanwhile, we are left with only 15 teams and 47 players, and this circle is the third one that is now closing in.
A very important fight for IA to pull off over there, and that is the sort of confidence they need to get things back onto the right track, and exactly what happened for IA over there. I'm really happy they pulled this off. It's not an easy fight with Trinda going down over there, Uzium going down. To be really honest, the fight certainly looked as going out of their hands, and the way Crypto and Trinda and especially Johnny controlled it over there, it was really amazing. And Random 4, they really had a chance to punish it with the third party. The way the lads shut them down, amazing game coming in from IA, and clearly the confidence is back.
Yeah, and now what I really think is for QWERTY Esports, they are trying their level best to take down the players of Team Quantum Rage. I mean, Team QWERTY Esports for now is kind of trapped there. They will be trying to get away from this position, but will Team Quantum Rage let them go away? They won't. Oh, he's gonna find one. Wolf right now trying to find some sort of cover behind that stone, and is the only player there. I mean, from left, right, and center is being shot at, and now Weekend will be the one to put that final nail in the coffin, and that's going to be the elimination for Team Esports.
Look at this kind of split from Quantum Rage, just surviving towards the western edge of the city of Ferrypier, and the shift from the zone sort of putting them on the western edge as well. The AWM is back in action over here. Let's see if we're going to see some shots or not. But those teams towards those beach area, that is exactly what I was referring to, that QWERTY Esports and North Esports might run into them. But now I have sort of found a new enemy to fight against, that is TS Official. This is a fight that we have been looking forward to coming inside the day. TS Khan eliminated by Johnny over there, and let's see how TS is going to respond here. But on a different part of the map, QWERTY Esports sort of making a successful rotation right in front of the eyes of Unpredictable.
I mean, they managed to get in on this compound without any casualty on board, and all 4 players are now safe. So a better position already being acquired in the 4th circle before it started moving and closing in. But on the other side, we have Team DES tossing some beautiful grenades on the players of ZE, and they are making things happen. Bablu also losing one player now, and I mean, Team Bablu, once again, are you going to take your way? Are you going to move to the top 5 or not?
Wow, 2 interesting fights being happening that are happening at the same time. Team Bablu losing, Team Wolf over there, Uzium sort of punishing Rafe over there. He got a knock with a beautiful nail over there, and now he's been pulled down. So he is against IA. That is something I was really here to watch out for. Let's see if we're going to get some glimpse over there. 6 kills already inside the tally of IA. They are really looking to get things back. And DS with just one last lad remaining, it's looking difficult for them. Hasti eventually falls down and gets eliminated from the game. This is not what I was expecting from DS Official, but IA sort of getting the upper hand here in this game number 3. And this is exactly the point where DS was sort of punished IA yesterday in the game number 3, and now IA sort of getting it back on them.
Random 4 also, along with North Esports, are down to just 1 player in this game. And I mean, it's going to be very hard for them to carry out the whole game without having those numbers with them, players with them. It's going to be really hard because the teamwork in any sort of fight is needed. And for now, we are left with 12 teams and 38 players who are closing in this 4th circle. After this, the 5th circle, the major circle, is going to get made. And I mean, that's where the circle decide who stays in there, the compounds, and who needs to leave and find a new position.
Yeah, certainly. And a very risky rotation for Team Bablu. They've got the lads of Unpredictable right very close on the high ground. But Zebian, really needs to make his way towards his teammate, or is it a split? They are trying to execute a 1-2 split on such a distance in this sort of a circle. This is a bold move coming in from Team Bablu right now, and Zibian taking some damage there as well. So let's hope the siege doesn't get knocked out over there. North Esports random 4, both these teams now reduced to just a one-man squad, and that is a very crucial match for North Esports. They really want to change things. They've just started their campaign in the semi-finale today. They really had a decent last game in Miramar, but clearly they need a good game here as well, and they're just losing on players in numbers, and that's just not a good sign for them. Look at where Team Tyro 110 is holding up right now. So clearly the strategies have changed for a team like Tyro 110. We saw them in a lot of early actions inside the early games of Erangel, but now they're sort of holding and taking the step behind, sort of deciding to take maximum players inside the final circles, which is now starting to shape up just towards the eastern side of this military-based bridge, where Team I8 is holding a very crucial compound, a lot of open spaces and ridges that they're controlling.
I mean, yeah, 2 dips as well, and a lot of open space, as you mentioned. So I8, I mean, very lucky there, and QWERTY Esports is as well, because they have the center of the circle for now. 11 teams, I mean, most of the teams, like 7 to 8 teams, will now be trying to get inside the circle, get a better position for them. But QWERTY Esports, I8, they don't have to worry at all. They can do wonders by just staying there, and what they need to do is prepare up with their defenses. Draco getting taken out with that grenade, the explosion of the car maybe, and now his team is just down to 2 players, Teddy and Hunter. Teddy was the MVP in the last game, but let's see what can he do now. Can he be the savior for his teammate, or Team Tyro is going to take them down? I mean, the way Zem was trying to, take some shots on him, he did some damage, but that was not enough to take him down.
We have seen Team Tyro hold up this compound for a very long time, right? They were here during the early game as well. But now look at this, where you're burning down, my friend. Psycho was he's just going to get in there, pull him down. Just one bullet that was needed to just knock him. And now XGeneration losing players. This is the message. And look at this. This is a bold move coming in from Bart. He's just stepped on in there and giving some lead there to the lads of XGeneration and pulling them down completely. This is a good move coming in from Quantum Rage. They've got some important kills during this mid game. Now we're down to just 8 teams that are surviving over here, and Death Squad sort of making their appearance towards the northern edge of the circle. This is not a good spot to be. This just a shack and a US to give you cover. They are in for a lot of lead coming towards their direction.
I mean, some sort of smoke already being deployed, and more will be coming as soon. And I mean, what I really think is this position is, for now, is fine. But if the circle shifts, you are going to go in open, and you won't be having much vehicles to work with. You need to run on your foots. And I mean, that's not going to be the position where you want to be in, because Esports having compounded will deal massive damage. And with the SLR in the hands of Monto, I mean, this is going to be the man dealing the maximum damage with that. I mean, SLR, look at him. He is going to find one with the headshot. I mean, now he's trying for more, and he finds the head. He deals a lot of damage, and he's barely breathing. He's trying his level bit, but will he find that? His teammate will find that, though. And now Tyro left with the last man.
Wow, just exploiting the cracks over there, just trying to penetrate through the wooden things over there. But somehow, the lad Zion is still surviving behind there inside the smoke, and this is not looking good for Tyro over there. He's going to get pulled down. Yes, that is team. Yep, I8 getting in them from a different angle completely. Another team bites the dust. Just 6 teams out here. Team Bablu with just 1 guy or just 2 players remaining. I think that split from Zibian did not really be very fruitful for them, and he's just gone down without any substantial damage to other teams, and this is not looking good. I just spot Dani in the backdrop there, so not clearly. Once again, Team Bablu missing out the trick inside the game of Erangel. But this new shift of the circle clearly towards where Quantum Rage is holding this compound, and this is a really good sign for them. Now, I8 is going to get tested. Johnny in a split situation. His teammates have committed themselves towards the northern side. They got to sort of come back through that open space and then commit towards the compound. It's going to be a really, really tough challenge for I8 to win this game. Let's see if they're going to pull this off.
They got a small dip in front of them. They need to deploy those vehicles. But meanwhile, Team QWERTY Esports having the hold of the compound is doing massive damage on the team. Unpredictable. And I mean, it's going to be very hard for them. They're going to go for the fight, and there you go. Joker with his M249 is going to take a dread and will be finishing him instantly.
Yeah, and these skills are very, very important. Unpredictable going down in front of Portal Esports. These are important points that Portal Esports is executing for themselves. All the 4 players standing from Portal Esports, mind you, that is the important point. They have already got 5 kills, and they are hurting Team I8 just behind their backs on the backline where the circle is closing. The 6th circle is closing. The revive has been done on Crypto. The first aid has been popped, but now is the time. And UZM goes down on a very crucial point. He has got to be the man left behind, and in that US, both the remaining 2 teammates are going to try and execute this very difficult rotation. It's going to be from the far side towards the beach. That is where they are headed. And team from Quantum Rage, players from Quantum Rage are also going to shoot at them. Then this is why I was saying it's going to be very difficult for IA to get a chicken dinner from this position. But let's see if they're going to pull this off or not. Quantum Rage inside the compound, Portal Esports having the rich cover, I8 out in the open. Let's see. And Team Bablu have a solo player. Let's see who's going to take away the all-important 15 points out here.
I mean, Bablu got only 7% of focus in their favor, but let's see if that last man can do the job. If he can do wonders, and now Momto is grabbing that fresh helmet vest and maybe some great weapon as well. But we are down to 4 teams and 12 players in this last circle, and the 7th circle will be deciding who will get the most chunk of the circle, and it is Quantum Rage once again. Ladies and gentlemen, they have the compound, they have the area. What they need to do is play carefully. I mean, just try to destroy whosoever tries to come in, and I mean, by staying in this compound, they can win the game.
The problem for Quantum Rage now is there are 2 enemies lurking from 2 different directions. So they got to split their manpower into control the teams coming in towards their direction. We have Vaz and Weekend sort of dedicated towards Portal Esports now. Audio and Adil sort of dedicated towards I8. But there has got to be a time where they got to dedicate other players towards this side as well. So the communication becomes a very important key in such a situation. If the team decides to close in on them, and if the team is deciding to use a vehicle to close in the distance towards the compound, the spray should be there. It should be there on point. And look at the way they're controlling them right now. Trinda being spot, Portal Esports losing player. This is an interesting effort coming in from Quantum Rage. They have been given the blessing of the zone, and they are trying to just exploit it, get maximum number of points possible out of this game. And look at the angle they're trying to control right now. But now Team Bablu, they've also got a role to play here. Dani just trying to surprise Portal Esports, maybe try to get a kill or 2 in his tally as well, but barely surviving over there. He's thrown a smoke towards the compound because he's worried about shots coming in from the compound as well. He's trying to close in over there, but he's going to get exposed for a very little bit amount of time from Portal Esports. But thank God that Portal Esports is engaged with multiple teams right now. I8 is shooting at them. They're closing in. They're out in the open, and this is a very good news for Quantum Rage. But look at that. Nocto gets an opening and gets 1 player down. They really got to close in now. This is the time they need it. But look at that. Was hurting Crypto as well. Multiple teams. Eventually, Team I8 goes down. This was not the kind of circle shift. It was a very difficult position for them. And you see Quantum Rage holding the compound and the concrete cover, eliminating Crypto. Now, is it going to be Portal Esports, or is it going to be Quantum Rage, or the single lad from Team Bablu?
I mean, it's going to be very hard for Bablu to make a great situation for himself because he's the last one and his location is compromised. Portal Esports throwing a lot of grenades and Bablu gets eliminated. Last 2 teams, 7 players, and Team Quantum Rage has the most and the best position right now in the circle. Portal Esports down to just 1 man. That's going to be insane. Alongside him is going to be Mom2. But Mom2 and Insane both are going to get taken out, and Team Quantum Rage getting the winner chicken dinner for themselves.
They had the compound, they had the zone, and they had the chicken dinner as well. 16 kill chicken dinner. And remember, this is a team that could not go towards their drop location. They had to come in from a different drop location. They just made sure to control the city of Periphery at the right time, and the shift of the circle came in as a blessing for them, and that is exactly what they wanted in this game, to grab those all-important 31 points. And even on the hashtag 1 position, mind you, that is going to create a substantial amount of lead for this team over here, and I'm really excited how the consistent performance from Quantum Rage. They did not have a chicken dinner up till this point, but they were holding on to the hashtag 1 position. Now they have been rewarded with the chicken dinner as well. This is exactly what you do when you get the zone in your favor. You just make sure you get a big chicken dinner, and exactly what Quantum Rage did over here.
I mean, not messing up after getting the big advantage in your favor and getting the circle in your favor. They were just good to go. They were, I mean, feeling it that we got this. All of the players, whosoever wanted to come in, they had no vehicles to work with. They were quite open. No smokes were being deployed. I mean, some were there, but still, Team Quantum Rage players were able to see them. And we have was MGS, the most valuable player of this game, with a total of 6 kills, 611 damage, and 1 assist. Total surviving time, that's going to be 25 minutes and 10 seconds.
Wow, that is a really, really good game coming in from Vaz, and we watched them win different fights, right? Towards the beach, we saw them how they took off North Esports as well, and now in the final circle, the way they have engaged with 2 different teams, the split situation they were controlling, clearly a big performance coming in from Quantum Rage, and the architect was Vaz over there for his team. We saw him in Miramar as well, getting some good kills for his team, but clearly he's been rewarded here with the MVP. 611 damage, and his teammates joining in over there inside the top 4 players. Oreo, he's also been a splendid player throughout, but both Esports insane making it there, and Crypto, you cannot deny this player to be inside the top 4 if he's entering the final circle. Like, he's just so amazing.
Well played by I8, I would say, because the way they had the advantage of the circle at a certain point. I mean, after that, they were not having the circle, favoring them. So they have to move every single time. They have to run towards the circle. So that was where Team I8 was, not having a great day. But meanwhile, as we know, we have Crypto with the most utilities used, with a total of 11 utilities.
Yeah, and I think the reason that I had committed their split players towards the northern side of that road, and sort of they had to come back and then capitalize the area, was the time lost over there. If they had stationed themselves where Johnny was finding him, it could have been a completely different story. But Crypto with maximum utility uses, that clearly tells you that the kind of game I had over here. They got 21 points. Sort of the comeback climb that was expected out of I8 over here, but clearly just a little bit of I won't say that a mistake. They were just stationing themselves in different positions, and the shift of the circle just went against them. If they had sort of got a little bit of a circle to play with, or a centralized circle to play with, they were really good. They wouldn't have allowed other teams to come towards the side of the ridge that they were controlling, but because they had to move completely across towards a different part of the zone, that is where they lost players, and one by one they were pulled down.
Lost Esports was the first team to get out of the game, and then I would say Max Esports losing that 4v4 fight to I8. It was the best fight out of the whole game to witness, because the way Team I8 showed the teamwork there, it was fantastic. And Max Esports got only 2 kills and 2 points in this game. So better luck next time, and we still have 2 more games to be played. That's going to be the map of Sanhok, and that's going to be the final game. That's going to be the map of Erangel.
Yeah, but before that, you really got to ask the other underdogs as well. Like, we got to look at the Oppo F19 Pro moments, and this was TMW. This is exactly the team I wanted to talk about. They've clearly not been in the kind of colors we saw them during the group stages, and really got to buckle up, because you're losing matches one after other. These are opportunities for you. Considering the fact that it's their first day from Group C, and now the opportunity is just going past by them. 3 matches already, no good games for even ELM or TMW. ELM had a decent game the first Erangel, they ended in the top 4, but those are sort of the only points that they have, so they really got to bucket up. And this fight, I think this is the reason everyone loves Team I8, right? They were just losing this fight. There were third-party shots coming inside this fight. They can do just everything with this smoke. Even Johnny, even Crypto, what a beautiful fight they executed.
I mean, Johnny did a lot of damage all by himself. And I mean, Quantum Days, right from the beginning, they were so confident. I mean, the way they wiped out XGeneration team, I mean, it was fantastic. The way they had the confidence and the luck, to get that circle again and again with themselves. It was just super fun to watch out. And the Esports, I mean, they tried their level best. At some point, they had the circle, but I mean, again, it was all for Team Quantum Rage, not for any other team.
Certainly. And I really liked how Dani played his part inside the game as well, right? He was just trying to get some important kills towards the end, but he got some good placement points for his team. He was solo for such a long time. We saw that split situation which they executed. But look at this. Quantum Rage get their first chicken dinner. They're the first team to touch the 100 mark. Yes, they're the first team to touch the 100 mark as well. And look at the significant amount of lead that they are enjoying at this moment right now. It's going to be a really important factor for them. PMPL South Asia also now stepping inside the second spot with 77 points. Freestyle, They've played just 5 games, but still lingering on inside the top 3 over there. Team Bablu, top 9, but clearly I8 have now taken that big leap onto the first place. Let's see when they're going to get that appearance onto the top 3, top 5 stage as well. DS Official missing out, but they got a decent game here. 38 points in the overall, which really need to put up a better effort.
I mean, yeah, for Team Freestyle, despite the fact that they only played 5 games, they can do even better tomorrow. But for now, we have R3KT Esports also. Tyro, they are trying their level best. Who are not, I mean, they are just not getting lucky there. They are so unlucky. I have seen Team Tyro, falling with those just unfortunate moments. So, I mean, they will try their level best. And I don't know. What do you think about Team Lost Esports? I mean, for them, it's going pretty hard.
Yeah, but Tyro is in really big trouble, right? Already 8 games for them. They're still finding themselves onto the third page. When these teams are going to complete their 8 matches, a lot of teams might not be there on the last page, right? So they really need to buckle up. Just 2 matches remaining in the day, and by the end of the day, they would have completed half their matches. This doesn't happen usually. Just on the first 2 days, just on the first 2 days of the semi-final, you don't complete your half the matches. But that is what is happening with Group B. But the remaining 2 matches, ladies and gentlemen, are going to get witnessed on the other side of this very short break.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Zone 4G, official partner of PUBG Mobile in Pakistan. PUBG Mobile का real मजा सिर्फ Zone 4G पर. Let's get digital.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to PUBG Mobile National Championship Pakistan Region 2021, sponsored by the Oppo F19 Pro. And we just witnessed amazing three encounters over here, and now it's time for some Sanhok action, some rainforest action. Cracky, what do you think? What do you think? What are your expectations out of the Sanhok game?
I mean, it's super high because the way the Sanhok is designed, a 4x4 map, and I mean, the fastest action you can ever witness on any other. I mean, if you compare with any other map. So, what I really think on the map of Sanhok, we see a lot of third parties happening till the last circle, and I mean. In the early action, in the early stages of the game, we see a lot of teams dropping together. I mean, clashing, there's drop positions. I mean, because Sanhok is quite small, and the players, I mean, wheresoever they try to go, they find another team, and they have to fight them.
Certainly, they have to fight, and we'll find out how these teams are going to fight here over because we've seen some amazing things happen today. Team Knockout getting a really good off game, but now the teams are jumping already inside. And look at this. This is just thanks to the amazing connections that they have from Zong 4G, right? You really need a very, very good connection for a stress-free life, I would say, and that is what you get from Zong 4G. And the players on that connection are now jumping inside the Sanhok game over here. The plane crossing over the Camp Alpha Island, where Quantum Rage is sort of taking the leap on that island as well. Death Squad moving towards the ruins area where they like to plunge, and I8 back inside Lakawi.
On the boot camp, we might be having the one team that's going to be Lost Esports, and on the Painan, we have Team Bablu. So, not much drop clashes. I mean, we won't be having any sort of early action right now. But yeah, the first circle, let's see where it's going to be. The way the first circle is going to get made, I mean, the players have to rotate accordingly then, and we might be having a lot of teams. I mean, waiting for the players to rotate early.
Wow, this is the semi-final, Cracky, and we don't have Portal Esports playing the game number 4 over here. Wow, I clearly don't understand. They had a really pretty decent last game. They were there inside the final circles. Missing out on the game of Sanhok is clearly not what we wanted Portal Esports to be, and oh, I'm really not happy with this. I'm really not happy with this. Portal Esports missing on to a match, not cool. Even DS Official is showing back in again with just 3 players inside the lobby. That is also really not looking good for them. And they really got to buckle up and get their 4th player inside.
I mean, maybe Team Portal Esports not also happy with their performances. Maybe I don't know what the reason is, but yeah, not showing up, not playing this game. I mean, we are gonna go back eventually. But so we have our first circle towards the northwestern area of the map, and it certainly, I mean, consists of 3 islands right now.
It clearly does, but the entire island that is inside the first circle, that is clearly the Camp Alpha 1. So
Bravo, yeah.
that is exactly where the teams would like to go. And let's see how the rotations are going to shape up with this sort of a circle. Random 4, clearly on the Tri Junction, it's not going to be a very difficult spot for them to control and move towards the Camp Alpha Island. But I would really like them to hold on to that position because clearly they're going to get in a lot of rotations coming in from that direction. And if they can capitalize on a team or two, that is exactly what they're looking for. Some good points at this stage of the tournament is really going to help the morale and the confidence, even their position inside the overall standing. And that is what Random 4 is sort of looking for right now. Lost Esports enjoying boot camp, but clearly it's going to be a tricky situation for them. Are you going to swim Lost Esports?
I mean, if they do, Team R4 is going to be ready with their weapon in their hands, and I mean, they will take them down very easily because while they are swimming, they won't be able to use their weapon. So it's going to be free kills for Team R4, and I am pretty sure they are not going to do that right now. Maybe they will do it later on.
Yeah.
For now, they are going to chill onto the map on the area of boot camp, and on to the other side, we have Team I8, as you mentioned, near Lakavi. They will be having one team super close to them.
And that is Max Esports, right? They like to play the Erangel game from the center, but they sort of want to start from the eastern coast, and this is not the kind of start they were expecting. Johnny is spotting that run from Rahi out in the open, hunting him, and this is the city of Kampong that Team I8 is sort of engulfing right now and surrounding completely. You're going to drop very close to I8. There's always going to be a risk for an early fight, and that is exactly what Max Esports is heading into. They've lost the first player quite early into the game. Even in a different part, North Esports, Zamin is hurting Quantum Race. That is happening on the Camp Island. The second knock is here. This is Crypto for you, and he's an amazing, amazing talent.
I mean, yes, it does. Just like the last game, Team I8. I mean, showcasing their power onto Max Esports. Max Esports losing one player already. The second player is down to on his knees. And Team I8 will be trying to capitalize it. They will be trying to surround Team Max Esports from all four sides. I mean, but let's see how Team Max Esports is going to get away, how they are going to run away, how they're going to change the position, or as you think that they're going to die.
Yeah, I don't think there's any getting away from a team of I8 right now. The sort of stance they are showing towards the end of, towards the mid game of Erangel, if they continue that sort of a stance inside the Sanhok game, it's already doomed for Max Esports. They're going to be picked off. And look at the angles, look at the split on the team of I8 right now. They are just surrounding multiple angles. They're not allowing any sort of retreat stance, and the way they have completely covered the city right now, it's looking curtains already for Max Esports. They really need a valiant effort if they understand that there's space towards the northern side, towards the Lakavi region. If they can sort of go towards that sort of a rotation, that is the only escape for them. But if they decide to go towards south, Museum has those angles covered. And moving further in south, look at where Team Knockout is. If they decide to move through the Dog Cave area, that mainland area, they might also find some action. But clearly, they have the information and they are just moving through that waterway.
Team Unpredictable also making their way in this circle very nicely with that, another rotation on the board. It's fantastic, and we have our first airdrop that contains an orb along with that 8x. I don't know if that's more than enough in the map of Sanhok, but yeah, it has a 8x, and with that we have level 3 helmet vest as usual. But for now, Team I8 losing one player to Team Max Esports, and will he be able to confirm it? I don't think so, but for now, whatsoever they are doing, they are going to take some sort of zone damage if they are going to fight like this. But if they move in the circle, it's going to be a better decision for both of them, because whatsoever you do, you might get gatekeep.
Yesterday, it was a situation, right? Yesterday, Team I8 was dedicating themselves outside. Team DS was dedicating themselves outside the play area for a fight. This is clearly I8 have not done today. Okay, so they spent a good amount of time hurting Max Esports, but Max Esports with those knocks on Museum have sort of got I8 away from their tail now for now. But when they approach the quarry region, when they reach the edge for this first circle, it's going to be a very tricky situation for the team of Max Esports. I really hope they have a good amount of loot, because they're going to take a lot of damage from the blue. They're clearly going to spend a lot of time out there inside the blue, and I8 have clearly decided not to. They are trying to head towards the play area, but let's see how this is going to go ahead. And as you anticipated, that Max Esports might just survive. They have.
Yeah, they have done it, and I mean, it's not all the situations. I mean, what they have came out from. It's also some sort of support from Team I that they are now falling back. They're not committing it, and that's a good decision by both of the teams for now. But eventually, we have the first circle closing, and then after a while, we'll be having the second circle. What do you think where it's going to be? Because from the looks of this one, I really think that's going to be on the Camp Alpha.
It really looks like that. But look at that rotation from Unpredictable. We have a boat rotation happening, and Weekend from Quantum Ray just towards the edge. Is he going to spot that boat? That is what I'm
It's
looking
so far
for.
away.
It is far away, but definitely with the kind of scopes that we have available, I think that's certainly in range. But I think Weekend has not spotted that rotation.
Look at
And
knockout.
yeah, and even knockout doing a similar sort of rotation. So both rotations sort of getting successful over here. That is a surprising thing. I'm really not a big fan of both rotations inside Sanhok, but they are getting executed successfully over here. So either the teams that lurk around towards the western edge right now, they have sort of missed the trick. Both Quantum Rage and Death Squad, they could have sort of done the scouting for these boat rotations. Those are pretty easy kills if you spot them.
Yeah, I mean, boats doesn't have much of those HP. I mean, you can easily take them down with those 40 bullets. And I mean, the players know it very well. So Team Knockout, I mean, both of them, I mean, not both of them for now. Unpredictable is on the land area now. Team Knockout still in the water, and Team Max Esports still outside the circle. So Team I8 has managed to get in the circle, but they will be facing one team that's going to be Team ELM, super close to them, trying to loot the airdrop. And here we have MG3, the deadly weapon replacing M249. And now, if Team ELM, the players of Team ELM gets it, I mean, they are going to rip things apart.
I really want to see some action from this M249 to be really, from this MG3 to be really honest. It's just that you mentioned M249. It used to be the drop weapon earlier. Now you can get this as a normal spawn weapon as well. But MG3, this amazing, amazing drop weapon. I just want to see the kind of skirmish Zian would do on the players if he gets the opportunity. It's an amazing, amazing weapon. And let's see if we're going to get some MG3 action today in the Sanhok game or not. Let's go on the other hand. They were holding crucial compounds towards the western edge, and that is where they still are. They've got a bridge pretty close to them, so they really got to decide when are they going to make that rotation, or they are going to wait for teams coming in from the southern side and just sort of try to give them some trouble when they try decide to get close to them.
Lost Esports losing one player, that is believed. I mean, will he be getting revived? That's the big question there. But meanwhile, as we know, this is the second circle closing in now, and I mean, after this second one, we'll be having the final shift of the circle. I mean, it will eventually show us where the circle is going in, because the circle still consists of the all three islands.
Yeah, and the river trijunction still into equation. That is where random four was spotted earlier, and that is where they exactly are till this point. So let's see how that strategy is going to work for the team of random four. Lost Esports, on the other hand, they were decided to swim, right? And that is what we anticipated from Lost Esports. Because when you are boot camp and you want to go to Camp Alpha, you really want to avoid the river trijunction and the bridge as well. So a lot of teams that go to boot camp, when they have to move towards the Camp Alpha, they go for that swimming option, which is clearly not the best option, to be really honest. Even if you pick up a fight on land, I think that is the way to go. But now, what are the remaining three lads going to do from Lost Esports? That is something I'm going to see. But I'm going to watch. But look at this. There's a different sort of team that is looking around, pretty close to where Random 4 is holding up. And that is Mustafa and his teammates. Tyro 110, they're looking for a good game and they've got the high ground. But meanwhile, XGeneration up against North Esports on the high grounds of the Camp Alpha Island. This is a very important strategic fight being executed right now. Whoever is going to hold the high ground over this part of the map is clearly going to expose themselves to a very big opportunity to get some more frags towards the end stage of the game. And that is why XGeneration and North Esports are going havoc against each other.
Darko, the last man for North Esports, is now running for his life. And XGeneration, I mean, they won't be happy with the with the kill going away. But yeah, Daku is gonna manage to run away and save his life. 3 kills for Team XGeneration. First of all, I saw that Rehman. I mean, the way he got those kills, it was just fantastic, and one on to pan as well. So I mean, 15 teams being still alive till the third circle. Let's see how the players of North Esports are going to play in the final game now, because the last man, that's going to be Daku, is the only one there.
Yeah, and let's see. This fight has clearly gone towards the way of XGeneration right now. Daku somehow just surviving. And let's see if he is going to take his team to some position points or not. This is going to be an interesting thing for North Esports, because clearly they wanted a big opening day for their Group C encounter, and they got some good games going their way, but quickly losing this fight. Now, look at that. The place where he's headed, Max Esports have sort of come in over there, and XGeneration spotting them as well, hurting them down. So clearly Daku is in a spot of pickle right now. Let's see what is he going to do.
Yeah, let's see what is he gonna do. So for now, I would love to see what the circle kind of looks like, Trooper, because the circle is gonna be very, very important for all of the players. I mean, the way they have to move. But look at Quantum Rage Weekend finding one easy kill onto the players of Max Esports, and I mean, that's gonna be taking Max onto just 2 players now, onto just last player now.
Yeah, even 3 teams. Look at that. 3 teams just down to just 1 player. So it's going to be a very difficult situation for all these 3 teams. But let's consider the fact that the circle has not shifted towards the Camp Alpha Island. It's sort of shifted back towards the Camp Bravo Island, an area where Team I8 is holding up pretty good right now. And Tyro 420, we saw them holding up this high ground for a quite big amount of time now, and they're getting this blessing of the circle shift. And our 4 teams like Random 4, who were trying to gatekeep teams like Lost Esports from crossing towards the island of Camp Alpha, sort of now got to make that opening towards this side. And for that, they've got another opening on Tyro 110. They have pulled down Emma just now. So let's see what sort of an impact these guys are going to make, because on the back lines, we have the big boys sitting inside this compound. This is Team I8 holding a very important compound. Let's see how they're going to play this game now.
And now the third circle is also closing in. So as soon as they are in the circle, as soon as they have, as much time they can spend in this compound, that's even good. They took one pair out of the team Tyro. I mean, they knocked him, but was not able to confirm it. For now, I really think that this circle is still confusing me. I mean, how the players are gonna get in the circle, because 3 islands are still there, and as being those in those situations, the players have to swim to the other island, and while they are swimming, if someone spots them, it's good game. It's GG for them.
Yeah, imagine, Cracky, we are the casters, right? And we have so much information. We get this multiple drone views. We get this so many views of the map as well, where the other teams are. And even then, we are confused where to go, right? Imagine the situation of the IGLs who are playing this game right now. 15 IGLs sort of still struggling where to take their team. And they have now been reduced to 14 as Max Esports, the last lad gets picked off over there. And all these IGLs have got to decide the same thing, where to go.
Yeah.
Do they take the waterways? Do they go in for these fights? Do they move in towards the river tri-junction where teams like Random 4 might be present? But North Esports also lose Daku. They're out of the game. But look at this team Dead Squad sort of making an impact on the rotation coming in from Unpredictable. They've got 2 lads down. They're now hunting for Hunter and Rex as well. This is not looking a good situation for Team Unpredictable.
I mean, it certainly is not at all looking good, because they need to get in the zone, and from left, right, and center, they are being punished. They are being punched, and it's XGeneration now who is going to take a remover out of the game. First took him down onto the knees, and now completing him. And now the last man for Team Unpredictable, that's going to be Hunter, all alone by himself. Let's see what can he do. Already outnumbered. I mean, I don't know what can he do now.
Imagine the place from where Unpredictable was rotating. Shots could be taken from the other side of the river as well. There was a higher risk that could come into equation. And then Nightmare was if they don't find a team from either direction. And that is exactly what has happened to their rotation. So clearly that was not a good decision coming in from the IGL. He should have been more aware that these higher grounds would be challenged with teams like Quantum Rage, XGeneration, North Esports dropping in on the island. On the Camp Alpha Island, they are really going to challenge those higher grounds. And which clearly XGeneration has won this time, but whoever would have won, they would have really been present over there, and that is the wrong decision that has caused Unpredictable early elimination inside this game. So clearly, all the 4 players arrived just towards the fourth, as the 4th circle was starting to shape up, and when it started to close, they have been caught off guard, and this is clearly a message for them that they need to work on their rotations.
Now they need to, and unexpectedly, Quantum Rage is taking down players of XGeneration, and I mean, he's trying his level best to secure him down as well. Now, finally, we have a circle. I mean, that really describes what the players need to do, how they need to move in the circle. And Quantum Rage, the last man weekend, is trying to do as much damage as he can.
Clearly, he's trying to do as much damage as he can, and that is exactly what everyone else is. Look at TMWeSports. Kurama with that nade. That nade is looking good. Weekend might just be on the receiving end, but it deflects to a different angle inside the compound. Now this follow-up Molly, and somehow Weekend has found that perfect spot inside that wooden house over there to survive. But look at this. Even XGeneration gets pulled off. Team Dead Squad that was hurting Unpredictable a little while earlier have found XGeneration rotating in from the high grounds from the Camp Alpha Island. So the shift of the circle clearly not favoring the teams coming down from the Camp Alpha Island, and they have been spotted and pulled down beautifully out here. Now we have TMW making an appearance towards the river tri-junction. We have Team Quantum Rage with a player holding on in that house over there, but TMW have got inside the zone. When is Quantum Rage going to backstab them? Let's see.
He got 13 first aid kits, and I really don't think anytime soon he is not at all looking. He is just trying to survive as long as he can. And then if he's some of those players from TMW, I mean, he will try his level best to take them down. At least the maximum damage that he will try to do. But on to the other side, it's the players from Team Red Squad doing a lot of damage. And from left, right, and center, Team TMW is being shot at. Anytime soon, if the player of Team QR Quantum Rage peaks him, they would be dead. But for now, I mean, that was a good knock from Marliga, and it was really good. So now the Team TNW is just down to 2 players. That's going to be Reaper and Marliga OP, and let's see what they can do, because they need to move the circle, and the 5th circle is 114 meter far away, and it's now closing in.
I think that was a good decision coming in from Marliga, allowing Big Boss to bring out, because clearly with the presence of Team Bablu inside the vicinity, it wouldn't have been an easy task to go for the revive. And clearly behind their tails, they had Team Death Squad as well. But look at this fight coming in. He's got Vash down over there, so he's just now running inside. Open spaces, one more dog. This is a brilliant display of gunpowder. 3rd dog coming in. Eventually Marliga gets pulled down over there. Death Squad decimated completely by this lad single-handedly. Even Team Bablu is getting a bad time here to Team Knockout over there, but I'm really impressed the way Marliga played over here. Reaper, another smart decision coming in. He's going in for the zone over there, and that is a very difficult time to all these teams trying to enter the zone from the western edge of the circle. Team Bablu denying one team the entrance, the other being denied by TMW. The 2 players made it really difficult for the lads of Death Squad to make an appearance. On the other side of the map, we see I8 getting into some fight, and Team Bablu sort of continuing this gatekeeping, dedicating it so badly on the lads of Knockout. Hunter and Teddy sort of trying to survive. Hunter goes down. Teddy is the last guy remaining, and complete dedication inside the shows from Team Bablu. Team Bablu trying to decimate the entire squad, and that is exactly what they're going to do. They are going to throw back Knockout back inside the lobby.
I mean, jump shooting from Team Wolf, and he is going to put that final nail. And now we are left with 8 teams. Team R4 has the highest, I mean, put the chicken in a forecast, because they have the circle, and in this position, they have the most space covered. They can do wonders by just doing, the teamwork, and they will certainly do that. But what are your expectations? How the teams are going to get in? Because it's now the 6th circle closing in, and Team Blue losing 1 player. I mean, they will be getting the circle anytime soon, but Team R4 from that compound will certainly take them down.
Ooh, look at that. Even Crypto gets taken down. That's what eliminated the last final player who was trying to survive his picked off as well. But now I8 getting eliminated, trying to cross over there. That is not a good message for I8 fans once again. But let's see how random 4 they are decimating multiple teams coming from the Camp Bravo Island, not allowing them to make that open run. Even Wolf might just go down next to that M762. He's got a 3x on that barrel right now, and he's making some significant damage to the teams coming in from the east. But Bablu, they've got a safe passage inside the zone, and that is exactly what I'm talking about, because they got random 4 concentrated towards the teams coming in from the eastern side, and this was the important timing that Bablu got maximum players inside the play area. They've got 9 kills, they've got 3 players inside the zone, random 4 inside a compound, but the next shift of the zone, even random 4 has sort of got a step outside the compound. Now the question is, how many smokes has Random 4 got over here and Team Bablu have got? That is going to be a very important thing, because clearly this wall is going to stay inside the next zone.
I mean, Team Bablu, they can eventually move inside the circle, but better be careful. They are not expecting Tyro 420 OP2 towards their right, and this map wonders by just staying there. And the perfect timing, he can just take out a lot of players from Team Bablu. But for now, this time in this situation, it's a 3v3v1 situation where Team R4 got the upper hand in this fight. They will be the one to do a lot of damage on Team Bablu, but Bablu, oh my god, Dani is the one who is going to find the first knock for themselves, and they are doing wonders. But this knock from Tyro will take down 1 player. That was Team Wolf, and now Team Bablu left with only 2. It's going to be a 2v2, but our 4 players, they are trying to result their 1 teammate.
Wow, look at the angle that Dani has been able to close in while that knock was being executed, but he clearly gets pulled off. Now Zibian with a big responsibility up his sleeve. He's trying to create an opening with that nade. Let's see if he's able to do that or not. And Zibian is the last final guy standing. He gets some damage. and gets her smacked down. Erin is down, and Zibian is back inside cover. It's a 1v1 situation that Zibian has created over here. Slay trying to close in. The first aid is going to get popped up over there. The gun is
No
going to get back, and a
way!
1v3 coming in from Bablu. Zibian over
Good
here.
HP.
He is going to go with that chicken dinner. What an amazing game coming in from Team Bablu. They've got the chicken dinner in this game, Cracky.
I mean, a 1v3, and the last kill was barely breathing. The man was barely breathing on 1 HP, and he pulled out a 1v3 so fantastic. I mean, he tried to use the first hit, but was not able to pull that. But with those total 13 kills and total of 28 points, they are now moving forward.
Zibian, in the first Erangel, we spotted a mistake from him, right? He did not give a proper cover to his teammate, and his teammate fell down in the final circle. But this time, in Sanhok, he's covered up. Yeah, he's redeemed himself completely. A 1v3 in that sort of a stance, closing in on a team that has got a good cover on you. It was clearly an amazing, amazing performance from Zibian, and he's going to be the MVP of the game as well. 8, and he got 3 of them on the last and final seconds of the game.
I mean, this man is just fantastic. Total of 576 damage and with 1 assist. I mean, this man was just superb. Trooper, I thought the team Bablu lost it as, Zibian was the last man in a 1v3. The players were rushing towards him. The players from Team R4 were rushing, blindedly. I would say that because the way they just gave the chicken dinner to Bablu, it was nonetheless lesser than that, because Team R4, if they could have played patiently, they could have got the chicken dinner. But Bablu Zibian, capitalizing on the situation, taking out 3 players, and the last one with just a single HP, not even do that. Tell me you're not killing me.
Yeah, you can't architect these sort of a gameplays, right? This just happened. Random 4, they were playing this game so beautifully up till the last second, but Zibian just stole the show completely. Look at the match summary. He's featuring inside 3 different columns over there. Zibian everywhere. Teen Wolf also featuring inside. And most utilities you see 4, so you'll see not a lot of smokes that they were carrying, right? And they had to to close in that distance. Really kudos to Dani as well, the way he sort of closed into that compound. Zibian followed his tracks and made sure that he got a better cover over there. Dani went down 3 players in front of you. Easy peasy. This is Zibian's show. Completes that beautiful 1v3 for a 28 point, a 13 kill chicken dinner for Team Bablu. An amazing finish to the Sanhok game.
If Team Random 4 could have got the chicken dinner, Team Bablu still would have been on the top of the total points. They had 13 amazing kills. They would have been on 10, but 12 points in 22 points. So, things would have been a bit easier, but Team Random 4 decides to push and decides to give the chicken dinner to Team Bablu.
But I'm really happy for Random 4 as well. It was a team that was an underdog team, not doing really good inside the overall standings, right? But coming second inside the Sanhok game, they've clearly understood the trick to stay towards the center. And thanks to the zone, it kept them into the equation right till the last circle as well. And they just did a brilliant, fantastic job, not allowing teams to enter from the eastern side. They heard a lot of teams. They heard teams like I8 over there as well. And North Esports also, they were hurting them right from the start of the game at the last minute as well. So all these teams, thanks to Random 4, and they've really got a good team. This is the sort of momentum they were seeking for at the start of this day, and now when they have got this, they really want to carry it towards the last game as well. But here in the Open F19 Pro moments, we are going to witness some fights that happened inside the Sanhok game. You remember how Quantum Rage and even the lads of XGeneration were trying to take control of the camp Alpha Island. Some pretty interesting fights that we witnessed over here.
Yeah, from the very beginning, we had a lot of crazy plays. If you compare it till the final one, they were not that great. But last fight, it was just fantastic. Bablu, the team Bablu, they got the chicken dinner very nicely, and I'm really surprised with that 1 HP kill. How did the last man from R4 who was on full HP didn't kill him?
Yeah, that is interesting, and that is where the adrenaline also plays a role, right? You just got 2 knocks, one with the nade, second person you just that the damage from the nade was delivered. So you went there, capitalized on him, went inside the cover, tried to pop in the first aid. I really want to see if he did pop in the first aid or he was still on.
No,
that
he didn't.
Okay, so he cancelled the first hit. He cancelled the first hit, listening to the footsteps, and made sure to get that 1v3 over there. So it's a brilliant effort coming into the and I'm just waiting for the moment that 1v3 will come up over here. Random 4, this is what I'm talking about. The way they controlled the game was beautiful, and the confidence they are going to get out of here is really amazing. Let's hope some good outcomes for Random 4 in the remaining matches today and the competition as well.
Now there's only one game left, and look at this 1v3. Zibian finds one, doubles it up, and on 1 HP, he's gonna swing. He's gonna swing. He is gonna pre-fire and gonna find the chicken dinner for himself. And there you go, Team Bablu making their way in the top 5 and on the 4th position with a total of 71 points. And I mean, with the next game being played, we will find them at least in the top 2.
Certainly they can. Then just 4 matches for Team Bablu. It's a clear statement out there for all the teams. I8 with 9 matches, still looking around on the 6th spot. Team Bablu with the 4 matches. Look at that, 71 points in 4 matches. Are you kidding me, Team Bablu? That's a staggering performance. Even Freestyle could manage 73 out of the 5 matches out there. So Team Bablu is clearly on a roll over here. Let's see what they are going to pull off in the remaining last match for the day. And clearly, Team Bablu is going to be there inside the finals, and their intentions are clear. Are they going to get that PMPL slot and go inside the PMPL? Team Bablu, this is certainly a possibility for you.
I mean, just because if we conclude everything, if we, just say that in these 4 games,
that he is Official and Deep Legion as well, also lurking around on the second page. But this is the page of concerns, Cracky, ain't it? BillyBoys, even with a chicken dinner on the hashtag 17, but they've got 5 matches to play, so we'll give them that, and let's hope they can sort of do the cover of work over there. But look at other teams as well. They are sort of struggling over there on the last page. So let's see when they get this opportunity, how are they going to come up and get some important points for themselves, and that is going to play a very crucial role. Even Tyro 110 get some good points. They were lurking around with 8 matches in the last page, but they got some important points. They made it to the final circle. So kudos to them as well. Kudos to both these underdog teams to get some important points. Let's see how the underdog teams are going to perform in the upcoming last and final game on the other side of this very short break.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Zone 4G, official partner of PUBG Mobile in Pakistan. PUBG Mobile का real मजा सिर्फ Zone 4G पर. Let's get digital.
Hello, guys, and welcome to PUBG Mobile National Championship Pakistan Region 2021, sponsored by the Oppo F19 Pro. And we are back here once again for the last and final game for the day number 2 over here. And I've got Cracky here with me. Cracky, just sum up how excited are you and how the games have just gone on over here for the first four. What are your expectations from the fifth?
I mean, I am super excited for this one because this is eventually the last game for the Group B's teams, and I mean, this is going to be the fifth game for Group C. Tomorrow we'll be having Group A versus Group C. They both will be playing the rest of the 5 games. But if we talk about this last game, the previous one, Team Bablu, with those total of 24 games in the group stages, we got 146 damage average one, and in those 4 matches, they managed to get 1400 damage. I mean, if you sum up the whole things, I mean, that's just fantastic. You can just see how Team Bablu has evolved, how they have prepared for this semi-finale.
Certainly, and look at the difference in points they're getting per match over here. Even the kills, they're decimating 2 squads per single game, and the damage, 1400 damage per game. That is what Bablu is managing to
Huge.
get over here inside the semifinals. So clearly, that intent is there. I think in the backdrop somewhere, Team Bablu is eyeing that PMPL slot. That is what I feel personally, because it's a big team from the region. Missed out on the opportunities on different occasions, but now this is the stage for them. Let's see if they're going to stand up, rise up to the occasion, and make sure to grab that in one and only slot that is available. The challenge for them, though, is going to be I8 QWERTY freestyle from the region, but right now they look prepared, they look energized completely, and let's see if they are going to transfer this energy inside this upcoming game of Erangel or not. A few underdog teams also stepping up, teams like Random 4, even teams like Tyro 110, and once again, we got to remember and we got to give a gift shout out to our network partners, that is Song 4G, for allowing all these players to get connected so beautifully to the game and just making sure to give all these amazing experiences with these fights over here. Take us to the fight part here, Cracky with me.
I mean, yeah, this playing path is starting from the northern side of the map, ending somewhere on the southern side. So this is quite interesting, and I really think that we have seen a lot of players going to the Zaki side, Jojo Paul, Poching. I mean, it's going to be very easy. It's not going to be, I mean, very hard for any of the teams. They can go wheresoever they want. Yeah, some of the places like Lipovka, Milta Zaki, they might be, I mean, out of the reach, but yeah, they'll manage to go there. So what are your expectations in this one? Because this is the last game. Are all the teams gonna stick to their default play style, or we might see something out of the box?
Yeah, first of all, I'm really happy to see Portal Esports back inside the action. They missed out on that Sanhok game, and clearly, since they finished it quite late, I think they're really going to be really more proactive about joining games and not missing out on opportunities, because these are clearly good opportunities for you that you're missing out. And but keeping Portal Esports aside, it's a good thing that they are back and back in numbers. But what is wrong with DS officials? They had a wonderful opening day of the semifinals, but the day number 2, they have turned up all matches just a 3-man squad. This is not
Yeah.
what I anticipated from this team, but clearly that is what they have done over here. But let's see what is going to happen over there. I am moving towards the area of military base. Once again, the area was directly accessible through the jump from the plane over here, but we have some vehicle action shaping up over here. Oh, Draco is moving away. He is moving away.
Yeah, Clutcher, I mean, he was going on to the anti-crash area. He was not at all going to stay in, when he knew that he is going to get crushed with those tires of the buggy. So it's a better decision to hide behind that tree.
I think
Now,
he was jumping in happiness, right, to get away.
Yeah.
from it.
he was lucky enough, to not caught in open. But yeah, that was some risky moves by the player. I mean, why risk your life like that? But it's fine. We have all of the players ready. In the early stages of the map, they're going to loot for themselves. They are going to get, kitted up, and then they'll get in the action, and then they'll start to fight. Then they'll try to rotate it. But for now, we don't have any sort of drop clashes. Everything is looking pretty cool.
Yeah, and look at that standard first circle that we have got here. A little bit of the area of the northern side of the river also coming into the equation. A bit of a space on the military island as well. So this is a pretty decent plane path, and a bit of a western shore just towards the hospital side as well. All part of this game. So teams like TMW, they already control big, huge amount of spaces inside this sort of a circle. So let's see how they're going to dominate the game. Because look at that, the area that they have right now, and that is going to be a pretty interesting thing where they're going to decide to settle in their first or maybe the second circle when it decides to shape up. Teams like Tyro are making their way towards that part, towards that sewer area, towards those regions, and even look at that, Lost Esports holding the high ground over there in a different area completely. So let's see how these teams are sort of going to move in towards the circle as the game progresses. But look towards the eastern edge cracking. Lipovka, it's being occupied by ELM, and they just reached Lipovka with their vehicle. So they're going to do their looting now and then maybe go in for a rotation later.
I mean, rotating late is not that bad, but yeah, sometimes it's even worse. In case if someone is holding you, if you try to go in from the northern side or maybe the southern side of the map, you might get taken down every single time. So it's better. I mean, if it's even better if you rotate early, but it's not that bad if you rotate later. If you rotate later on, you don't get the center of the circle. You need to play on the edges, and I mean, every single time playing on edges is not a great decision.
Certainly, it is not. Playing on the edges is a very tricky art, and you got to learn it with time and with patience and with a lot of failures behind your back. And if you have done that, then certainly you're going to get the answers to that. Teams like the biggest teams of the game, right? Teams like BDR have also learned it with time, and they execute it so beautifully. But on the other hand, the biggest team from the region, Team I8, they sort of do not like to play the edge game. They sort of like to dominate the game with the gun play, and they sort of like to control a compound or a ridge that is sort of holding a centrish position inside the circle. But that is the sort of change you want to expect from the region, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful tournament for all the gamers inside the PUBG, for inside the Pakistan region. And let's see how they're going to evolve as gamers, as esports athletes, because the kind of experience you get from these competitive games help you to become better with every single passing game. And we have clearly seen that from teams like Knockout, from teams like TMW, even the Billy Boys. They have become such an improved squad over time. And let's see how they're going to show their impact overall in the overall scheme of things when we move towards the finale as well. And this really hypes me up.
Yeah, that eventually does to me. But I'm curious. I mean, the way we have seen players, playing the map of Erangel quite passively, will they go aggressive in this one? We have seen Team Bablu going super aggressive, starting with the fifth gear, as you mentioned. But are they going to do the same this time? What are your expectations, too?
Let's see. Let's see if the fifth game is going to still be in progress, or are they going to trim it down to the third or fourth? But clearly, something I like about Bablu is they're completely absent during the early game. You do not see a lot of action coming in from Team Bablu in this part of the map right now. But clearly, North Esports always find a fight quite early. This time they have found random four in between compounds of Pochinki and Scoop right now, and they're sort of trying to punish them, get some kills and get some points. And this is looking a decent stance from them. They're in a split situation. He's really got to wait for his teammates to arrive as well. Pressure being applied from Era. He's sort of stepping up the gear. He's trying to get on the first floor as well. And this is a retreat start that Mage has to execute, because he's got to get his different teammates into equation as well. Daku from the flank angle. Mage has done an extremely important retreat at this point, and this is clearly going to help North Esports in this fight.
I mean, yes, it eventually will be, because Team R4, Random 4, they are quite split up. The one team that's going to be Error is onto the different side of the road, and all of those three players are on the squad and the double story. So Team North Esports, they will try to surround them from left, right, and center on all four sides, and they'll try to build up that pressure. If one knock comes in, if Daku could have done that, that would have been amazing. But the retaliation will be coming in from Husband. He takes down Daku. And now this is the advantage for R4 Esports.
Look at the HP on Error over there. He was just almost pulled down over there. But Hasnat, with that amazing trade over Daku, he did not allow that damage to be retaliated. But now this is the time for Random 4 to sort of push in and capitalize on the situation. They know that the lads of North Esports are in a split situation, and one of them is knocked down over here. So the numbers are clearly in their favor, and they are trying to bring it into the equation right now. Zameen, he's got a difficult fight to execute. There is a cover coming in from behind as well. Slay finishes off Daku, make sure to get a point over there, but Ghost is also holding a very critical angle over this position right now. Zameen has smoked himself up. He's sort of going for the run behind it, and there's an angle a little bit just under the vehicle. That is what Restart is trying to exploit, but Zamin somehow gets away from it. Let's see if he's going to get the compounds behind, or is he
Oh,
going
he's
to
running
kill in
away.
the process?
He is running away, but players from Team R4 won't be happy with that. They lost one more kill. And in this situation, it's a 3v4 where Team North Esports is about to lose the second. And yes, it is Zameen. And now the last two players, Mage and Ghost, with two players surviving for Team North Esports. And Team R4 is surely going to capitalize on that. They rushed while they found the first pick and now the second, so obviously they are going to close in, but this time smokes needed to be deployed and then only you can close in.
We were speaking a lot about North Esports on the last and final 2 days of the group stages. Zamin was clearly the architect during the matches. North Esports sort of made sure they capitalized on the last days there. But Zamin has clearly made a mistake over here. He should have stayed close to the compound. Mage and Ghost should have sort of stepped up, gone closer to them, because clearly it was not a position to retreat. And if he had smoked, he could have retreated towards the compound. At least that wall could have been a substantial cover for him. He was caught out in the open, eliminated, and that puts North Esports under tremendous amount of pressure. I really like the way Random 4 have charged themselves inside this fight. They've clearly committed themselves and calculated the split quite beautifully, realize that they have the opponents and in a bad position and they can sort of capitalize on them. And this is clearly a beautiful thing for this underdog team. Let's see how they are going to capitalize on this different fight. But what they got to really keep in their mind, in the back of their mind, that there's a big ridge right behind this compound and that is occupied now. The team of XGeneration coming into the scheme of things. But look at Team Knockout as well. That is a rotation from the backdrops happening. They're moving towards that ruins area just from the backside where North Esports is holding.
I mean, if North Esports had all four players alive, they could have gone for the sprays and they would have tried their level best to take at least one of the players down from the situation. But nothing much happening. The North Esports is struggling in their own battles and they are trying to survive as long as they can. But the circle, this is super good. The clusters are being formed every near area, near Pubg, near school, everywhere. And what I really think is this time Team North Esports has not much opportunities left.
Yeah, certainly. They need to rotate and they need to rotate smartly. That is going to be the important thing for them. But for now, they have the compound inside the circle. Teams like Quantum Rage making the big rotation coming in from the eastern edges. They are also going to look out and they just hope that they don't come in towards these compound, because that is going to spice up things even more. Unpredictable have, however, found the rotation of Team Knockout, a team that had a beautiful Miramar game, is now sort of struggling in this last and final Erangel right now, losing players in numbers. And even look at that, Quantum Rage's rotation has been caught off by the lads of XGeneration. So multiple fights happening as the second circle has started to close in over this last and final game of Erangel. And this is an amazing game that we're witnessing right now. Team Bablu on our screen holding up the ruins area, the split house of the split 5 houses. That is what they are controlling. But as they are doing that, Knockout have been eliminated off the game.
Yeah, two teams, took them out. The last pick was from XGeneration, and now we are down to 15 teams. One team already out. As you mentioned, they had a great game in the map of Miramar, but now they are out at the very beginning. But now, on to the other side, Team North Esports is also, as we mentioned, fighting their own battles, and they are getting a third party. If Team ELM Esports want to capitalize on this situation, if they had the lead, if they saw that we made Team North Esports weak, they are now closing in, and they in this situation, it's going to be a 2v4 to work with for Team North Esports.
Yep, Coast or May certainly need to pull off a Zibian over here at this point if they have to survive and go towards the later stages of this game right now. ELM Esports been converging themselves inside. This is a very good spot for a lot of teams, and that is why you clearly see these multiple teams converging towards these compounds in this sort of circle. The shift is going to be there. We're going to keep a close eye on the map over there if these compounds are going to be inside the zone or not. But clearly 3 teams inside the vicinity, even ELM Esports, they got to be worried about the back angles. Ghost goes down. Mage is the last player remaining. He's under a lot of pressure, and the next shift of the zone is clearly moved away out of these compounds. 960 meters is the distance. So clearly they got to wrap up this fight and move ahead. And Mage has a big task up his sleeves.
North Esports being sandwiched from both of the sides, and there's no way that they're going to survive there. If Team R4 doesn't kill them, Team ELM is going to do the job there because Ghost and the Mage, the location being compromised, they're struggling to stay alive there. Quibbles being thrown at them, grenades, mollies, I mean, what not, for God's sake. And they are, I mean, quite trapped. It's game gone for them in North Esports. I mean, it would be better if they do as much damage as they can and find some of the kills and instantly finish them off.
They need a really effort at this point, right? North Esports, if they want to get away from the situation, but or they need random 4 to get engaged with ELM. That is also going to create an opening for them, and that is certainly shaping up as random 4 have now got some attention out there onto the lads of ELM as well. The third circle has started to close in, so all this area is going to be covered by the blue in a little bit of time. I don't like random 4 are still sticking onto the situation. This is a retreat stance coming in from ELM Esports, and look at that. Even random 4 have decided to retreat. So some smart, intelligent decisions coming in from the IGLs over here, and somehow North Esports have gotten away from the situation. But do they have the compounds? That is going to be a very tricky thing because they were surrounded by multiple angles. Even if they had parked some, they would have been blown up or taken away or stolen away by other teams, and that is going to spice up things for them because now they got to move outside without vehicles.
Yep, and the team North Esports, I mean, they are lucky enough that both of the teams reprieve, they fall back, and I mean, they are going to stay alive. But let's see how they're going to come into the circle now. This, as you mentioned, the third circle is closing in. Most of the teams are forming a cluster near the Gatka area. What do you think about that?
Yeah, look at that. Portal Esports holding a compound just towards the central area. That is going to be a very important compound. The important thing is that there's a big ridge behind that compound that they really got to take care of. So Nocto in a split situation. Now, even I8 is moving towards that area. There's a very little space. There's a single story building that I8 is heading towards, and Crypto being the first over there holding up those angles right now. So these are going to be tricky moments of the game when teams decide to hold up crucial compounds. Look at teams like Unpredictable still holding on to the Gatka region. And as you mentioned, Hunter scouting for his team. It's going to get pretty interesting where Hunter is going to land. Is he going towards Team Bablu? No. He's sort of retreating now, and that could have been a disaster rotation for Hunter over there.
I mean, yeah, Unpredictable. I mean, it's not all going to be a decision from him. So he is going towards his teammates, but the circle shift is not at all going to favor them this time. The circle goes on to the certain side of the map, on to the certain side, and I mean, most of the teams have now going to rotate, and all 3 teams which were super close to the sewer area now have to leave the area, and while they will do that, most of the other teams will try to take advantage of the situation.
Finally, North Esports eliminated, and play zone goes down. So that is something I was not expecting. But random 4 finding themselves out on the edges. They're being shot at from multiple angles. The smoke has been deployed, but this is a team very close to them, sort of trying to pin them down. This is not looking a good situation for look at that squad. It's getting dark in front of his eyes, and this rotation coming in from his teammates. It's going to get pinned down as well. Not a very smart decision to plan your vehicles inside the sewer and then popping the smoke later for that disaster to hit you even harder, even clutch. Look at this. They have smoked themselves up, and now the other team is going to close in so easily. This is a disaster move from Death Squad, and they're going to get shot at, pinned down. The nades are being plunged in over there, and let's see how long they're going to survive, and they are in a very tricky situation.
I mean, throwables being thrown, and they want to take them out of the game instantly, and they will try to push in aggressively as well. And yes, they are going. Both of the players helping each other, providing some sort of cover. And yes, they will find one knock. And now the last man will be there, but Lost Esports is going to take him down. Clutch Wave will be the one to clutch it out. And now those 2 players who are knocked out onto their knees are going to get back into the game. And with 3 man still alive, Team Lost Esports will continue their
and
journey.
look at Uzium's nade over there inside the kill feed. That is making some significant damage. Trinda is knocked down. Crypto is knocked down. I8 down to just 2 lads standing. XGeneration inside the vicinity. And I believe there's a third team that is lurking around the corners right now. It's not going to be an easy fight for I8. They might just head towards an early elimination. If Johnny or Trinda do not show up, Johnny or Uzium do not show up, it's going to be very, very tricky. Cracky over here. Let's see. Team Big Boss just comes. Team TMW with Big Boss as their member member comes towards the northern edges over there. They are trying to control the ridges, and there's a rotation from Lost Esports as well from their behind. And XGeneration lurking around the corners, and I8 is sort of trying to regroup and get away. Look at that. They've picked up their vehicles and sort of going in the retreat stance, and that is exactly what they want. They need some spacing from all these clusters towards the northern side. That is why they are looking for spaces towards the center half, towards these open spaces, and where they're going to find Team Bablu. Two of the lads in a single shack right now. There's a split situation for Team Bablu, 2v2, 2-2 split that they are playing on different shacks. It's going to get interesting how they're going to control the landscape, Team Bablu. Let's see which gear they have put on over here.
I mean, yeah, 13 teams and 44 players alive eventually in this fourth circle being closing in. And I am expecting that this cluster will be in the open area. The open area is, I mean, you need to make a lot of cover with your vehicles only. You won't be having good cover, right?
Yeah, certainly. And Portal Esports Nocto takes down the player from Team Bablu over there. That is not looking good, but that is the fight back coming in from I8. Look at how they are surrounded by multiple teams. It's a very difficult situation for I8 to capitalize. But no Esports inside the vicinity. Even ELM Esports from the compound far away is shooting lead right towards the team of I8. And Trinda might just get knocked over here. He's very low on HP inside the 6x. This is the big 6x. You've got a team right close to you.
Yeah.
ELM Esports, deal with them. Why are you shooting at I8 so far away? Tyro right inside your compound. Ahmed, he's got some damage now from Ripper. This is the Scarlet 6x in action coming in from Ripper right now, but they've got the numbers and they had the zone till now, but the next shift, they got to wrap up this fight and move as quickly as possible because this is not looking good. The area has already been overcrowded. There are a lot of teams there that are lurking around in numbers, and you really got to find space. You've got to arrive early to the party. Otherwise, you're not going to be allowed to win.
Team Tyro for now will be having the upper hand in this fight if Team ELM tries to move away from the situation, and so is R4. They are waiting for the players of Team ELM to get out of the compound, and they will be shooting at them. But Team R4 also needs to get in the circle, and all of the three teams not at all busy, not at all looking to fight. They want to move in the circle, and Max Esports, I mean, it's going to be very hard for them. They are trying their level best as well, and these are two free kills for Rahi. Will he capitalize on them? I mean, he won't be able to, but his teammate will be.
How many players did Zibian get with that? He got himself knocked, he got his teammate knocked, he got two opponents knocked. How many players did Zibian get knocked with that one single nade? Now a different player with the nade out there. This is Museum applying pressure. So clearly team Bablu was not living in the best of their stance. Portal Esports still surviving towards the shacks right now, but Team I8 has now closed in onto them. Let's see how the situation is going to develop over here. Museum clearly deploying nades, but he's getting picked off over here. Who knocked Museum out from that smoke? That was a long distance knock, I believe. No, that was Montu just coming out. Retaliation against I8, and they are just reduced to two players. Crypto and Johnny looking out in the open. This is not a good spot for I8 to be in.
You can get shot from a lot of angles, and I mean, that's not going to be the position where you're going to be in. 13 teams and 30 players, and in this fifth circle, in this sixth circle, actually, I mean, there's not much space for everyone. Someone has to die. Team Tyro, I mean, surviving in the game with those three players still alive, and they have got a good position. They have spotted the players of Team ELM, and they might try to take them down. But on the other side, we have Joker finding the one kill, one knock onto Team DES, and this time, Tyro 420 OP is going to also find one with his DP28.
Amazing. That's a really good use of the gun over there. But look at that. Players being pinned down, and there's a big cluster that is created over the eastern edge right now that is sort of clearing itself up. The players are sort of trying to make spaces for each other, but this big shift coming towards the western side, it's going to put a lot of pressure on these teams lurking around towards the eastern edges. You can see Tyro losing players in numbers. They really need some help over there. And Random 4 making sure to give them all the bad time in the world that they possibly can. Just barraging nade after nade onto them without any clear information. That is also a waste of utility, but that is also aggression. They are making sure to pin down that team over there. Let's see if they're going to get successful or not. But on the other hand, we still got the lads of XGeneration surviving towards the ridges that I8 was sort of controlling. This has been a perfect shift for I8, but they're not having a very good position, to be really honest. Out in the open, we got to deal with so many teams. Still 12 teams survive in this contest. 26 players, 12 teams fighting inside in this sixth circle.
I mean, yes, and the players need to get in the circle. Team Max Esports, I mean, if they come out of the shack, there's one player just right behind them who is about to strike them, and let's see what damage can he do. But on the other side, if you talk about I8, they have spotted some of the players from U generation, X generation, are very far away. They were trying to shoot them, but I mean, eventually, if you didn't get a knock, you won't be able to capitalize on that. And actually, it was team unpredictable.
Yeah, that was seem unpredictable over there. But as we speak, DES official have also been eliminated from the game. Look at TMW; they were lurking around over the eastern edges. They are sort of giving damage to multiple people out there. And Random Four have also been eliminated. We will watch them. We're watching them insert a good position just a few minutes earlier, and now they have been eliminated out of the game. Even Portal Esports trying to control the track. They are also getting pinned down over there, but they successfully managed to get some kills out of. Look at that nade, that beautiful nade coming in from Nocto. That is amazing, amazing end to the lad over there inside the smoke cloud. That was the last guy standing from Tyro 420 over there. He's also getting eliminated from the game. Multiple teams getting ripped out. And look at this. TMW also sort of trying to control the northern edge.
And I mean, the way Kurama played, the last bullet hit the head of the player, and he was able to, find one more kill for himself. Now we're just down to 7 teams, and all of the teams are inside the circle. Despite just one player that's still out, and he's trying to enter in the circle. Let's see who is going to be the winner of this game. XGeneration, meanwhile, getting out of the game on the 7th position.
Yeah, they really put up a good show, X-Generation, for a really good amount of time, but now they have been eliminated. This last 15 minutes of this game have been so exciting. But look at that, Team Bablu also getting eliminated out of the contest. There was just one last guy, Team Wolf, who was surviving. He's been eliminated. We are down to the 5 teams, and the forecast is here in favor of Team Unpredictable. This is a team that got 3 chicken dinners inside the group stages, and those all 3 chicken dinners were really unpredictable as well. You never know if this team, they know how to win matches. Let's see how they're going to use their man advantage here inside the final circle. But clearly, I8 with 2 guys inside the final circle, they have an outside chance. Let's see how they're going to play. Crypto is still inside the lobby. I8 have a chance, I feel. Let's see what they're going to do.
I mean, Team IAT can do wonders by just staying there. They have upper hand in that fight. They have courage available, and every sort of team. I mean, any sort of team tries to come in. But let's see, are they gonna capitalize on that? LS Wolf is gonna find one play off IAT now. Johnny is left all by himself. What can he do in a 1v2 there?
We jinxed him, right? We jinxed Crypto. I don't think that was a curse. That was a jinx completely. Now I ate down to just a single lad. I believe that is Johnny out here. Let's see what is he going to do. But Portal Esports are finding themselves in a pretty good position, to be really honest. Let's see how they are trying to control, because they've already got their players deployed inside the circle. TMW just looking around the corner for them. That might be a problem they got to deal with. Nocto, you got to really look towards TMW, and Vici does not. Kurama gets an opening, pulls down Nocto over there. Joker under pressure. Let's see how Joker and Mom2 are going to control this final circle. Clearly, Mom2 has outclassed everyone inside one game that was inside inside Erangel, the first Erangel for the day. But how are Portal Esports going to deal with this situation is going to be a very difficult thing, because from one end, TMW is sort of giving them a very bad time, and from the other side, Unpredictable are sort of closing in the angles on them. This is a very bad sandwich situation for Portal Esports.
Kurama can spot Joker, and he will be eventually taken out. But his teammate, as soon as he was trying to move in the circle, Wolf will be the one to take him out of the. Take him down to the knees. But right now, Kurama, if he spots Joker, will he go for that trigger discipline, or will he shoot instantly? But for now, I mean, this is looking game for Team Unpredictable.
Yeah, certainly it is. But I'm really liking what this guy is pulling off over here. Wolf with 5 kills already out of the 6 kills for his team is making sure that his team is there inside the top 4 teams as well. So this is a really good effort coming in from this guy. And you need these kind of efforts, but certainly there's been a full stop on his effort as well. That is being done by Removal, but he gets traded from a distance. That is Mom2 inside the vicinity. He is just capitalizing onto every single opportunity he's present. Now he's coming out of the shack. He knew exactly where to stop, because he's already knew that there was a US over there. So clearly strategical gameplay coming in from Portal Esports. We are down to 3 teams now. Portal Esports have got 2 players. Unpredictable had the entire squad a little while earlier, but I can only spot 2 now, and the peak coming in from Rex. Mom2 has spotted him, and even Rex has spotted Mom2 out in the open. This is going to be a very difficult situation for Mom2 to deal with. You really need a smoke, my friend, and the shots coming in. He's changing the gun over there out in the open. You don't do that sort of a mistake. And now Joker, he's been reduced to himself. Just one lad standing from Portal Esports. We have still got TMW. The revive from Kurama has been delivered on Reaper, but Kurama goes down now. Joker gets that opening. Momto eliminated out of the game. Unpredictable sort of trying to climb up this uphill task. They really needed a good game over here, which they are heading into. I really hope they get this chicken dinner over here.
I mean, but what I really think is TMW was letting Team Portal Esports fight with a team unpredictable, but now finally it's going to be a 1v2v2 where the resurrection is needed. Revival is very much needed, but unpredictable. Will they let it happen? Yes, it is going to happen. Kurama is back in the game. It's going to be a 2 versus 1. But this grenade could do wonders, but won't be able to do much. As he tossed it there, he did some sort of damage, but that was not enough. And now Portal Esports left with just a single plan. That's going to be Joker, and he will be taken out. Now it's going to be a 2v2 between Team Unpredictable versus Team TMW.
But really kudos to TMW, the way they have played this final circle. And look at this. Now, the smoke just holding a barrier. The lads of Unpredictable have really tried to create an opening with the utility out there. But somehow, they are still surviving. They're unbeatable. They look unbeatable. Not a lot of angle to play with. And look at Hunter. Kurama just jumping out there on the tree trunk. Hunter clearly has a vision on him. But Hunter will take down Reaper instead. And then the next lad, 1v2 inside the final circle by Hunter. And he clearly architected, stationed a wonderful position for himself and his team inside the final circle. Unpredictable getting this all-important chicken dinner in the last and final encounter on the TMW. They stationed themselves on the hashtag 3 position after out of the 24 teams with this performance out here.
Yeah, total of 11 kills and 26 total points. Team Unpredictable getting the chicken dinner for themselves. And total of 1875 damage being done there. I mean, Trooper, it was a great game, and the way Team TMW played, Team Unpredictable played, it was just fantastic. I mean, first of all, Team TMW was led esports fights with UP, but unfortunately, one of the players, that was Kurama, got spotted and got taken out. I mean, that was where the game was gone from the hands of Team TMW. But if the plan from TMW, if that would have been, executed well, if Portal Esports would have fought with the Team Unpredictable, I mean, flawlessly, they could have won the chicken dinner for free. But that not happened, and Unpredictable getting the chicken dinner for themselves. We have Uprex as being the most valuable player with those total of 6 kills.
Certainly, it's a standard performance from this lad Rex for his team, and that is exactly what his team needed by the end of the day. And let's see how this team is going to carry forward this confidence inside the last day as well, because clearly Unpredictable needed this. They've got to deal with Group A tomorrow. Things like QWERTY are going to be out there. Teams like Freestyle are going to be out there, and you really need this sort of a performance behind you to just up your ante on the last before you go for the break, right? By all the teams would have played their 10 games by the end of tomorrow, and this game is certainly going to do a lot of good to a lot of teams, even for the teams of Lost Esports, even to the team of TMW. All these underdog teams who are not really getting a start inside the semi-finale stage have now picked up the pace, and they are getting some good points for their teams, and this is going to really do good to a lot of underdog teams out there.
Yeah, and we have our map summary. Total number of kills. I mean, most number of kills are with Kurama, and total. I mean, most utility being utilized is from Hustler, with 12 utilities being deployed in this game.
Certainly, 12 utilities in an Erangel game. It's a decent number. Certainly can go up as we are going to move towards the later stages of the tournament. But look at that, Rex inside different columns. So clearly it's been his game that he's controlled quite beautifully. And Unpredictable getting 26 points out of this game. TMW getting 21. Even Max Esports managing 7 out of here. And iHit got 9. It's a pretty decent effort from iHit. They're already featured inside the first page, right? And now with these 9 points are going to solidify them on the first page. I think they're going to move up the ranks and end up inside the top 5, I believe. But that is not the kind of position they're going to get satisfied. But they've still got matches, right? 10 matches remaining for IN. And let's see how they're going to do in those matches over there.
I was expecting even better from Knockout in this game, but getting eliminated at the very early stage of the game, I mean, that was not they were expecting. And it was not, I mean, not expected at all. So for the North Esports as well, I mean, they were being sandwiched from left, right, and center, from Team R4, Team ELM, and they were not eventually having a great day today.
Certainly, they were not having a very good day over there, but they got a chicken dinner, right? For team knockout, so
Yeah,
they
they did.
they got something out there. But let's see
Yeah.
how they're going to take it and capitalize it into the upcoming days of the tournament as well. We now move to the Oppo F19 Pro Moments for this Erangel game, where we spent a lot of time on these compounds in between school and Pochengi, where Random Force sort of dominated Team North Esports. Then ELM Esports showed up, and it was a three-way encounter where somehow North Esports got away from the situation but could not carry forward inside the game. And towards the eastern edge, a lot of teams that have prevailed, Lost Esports being one of them, and you can see the power of which is Random Four also already present over there. So it's an amazing final circle, but I believe the mid game really told the story about the region. It's going to be a lot of action-packed games once we come back tomorrow, and even after the break for the remaining matches, because these teams are not giving anything easily. They just want to get into fights. They want to win fights. They want to points for themselves, and no one is sort of no one is sort of ready to give up, right? And it's an amazing stance from the entire region.
Yeah, it is eventually, and we have seen a lot of crazy stuff in these all 5 maps. Tomorrow you're gonna also have those 5 maps. But one thing I really want to talk about is the performance from Team Bablu. The way the aggression is present in every sort of situation. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have the last man standing. He will be still having that aggression with himself, and I mean, I like that thing. But sometimes surviving going passive is a better decision, right?
It always is, yes. It certainly plays a role, and you got just decided. Coming back to the thing you said in the first game, right? The timing is everything. You got to know how to be fast. You got to know when to be aggressive, and the timing does a lot of things with that. And let's see at the overall ranking post-match. 10, ladies and gentlemen, Quantum Rage, Unpredictable, I8, and Knockout have played all the 4 and are still featuring. Even both these sports should have played all the 10 matches, but they just played 9 matches. They missed out on that Sanhok game. We're going to find out how badly it's going to go. But they're going to go through the semi-final, through the final stage for sure. But clearly, that is not what you want from a team like QWERTY Esports. Making it to the top 3 by the end of day 2, they're going to be certainly happy.
I mean, if QWERTY Esports could have played the Sanhok map, it would have been better. They could have won at least for a triple digit. But for now, we have Team Envy with those 50 total points, and 4 with those 53, as they have completed all 10 games, right? 10 maps. And for Team Pyro, I really feel the same, because I mean, they tried their level best to qualify. I mean, it's going to be very hard for them, because tomorrow we'll be having Group A versus Group C, playing the rest of their 5 games, and let's see what the scorecard looks like.
Yeah, by the end of tomorrow, everyone would have played their 10 matches, right? So we will have a clear understanding of which are the teams that are still lurking around in the danger zone. And this is the danger zone for now. BillyBoys, all these teams have played 5 matches, so they have the opportunity to improve. And let's see if they're going to do or not. Star 111, they are finding themselves with just 13 points. That is a tricky situation to be in. So for Rect and ELM, they really need to buckle up for tomorrow. But North Esports in this part, they're clearly being a part of quite early fights, and that is resulting them in losing players inside the early phases of the tournament. North Esports is a team that we saw leading the charts during the group stages. They are sort of losing tracks during the semi-finale. They really need to buckle up and come back tomorrow for a better performance.
Yeah, let's see how the games are gonna get played, because if the teams from Group A are watching the play style of Group C, I mean, they will eventually know how the teams like to play. And as we speak about QWERTY Esports, if they would have played their 10th game, they could have gone for triple digit. But as of now, they have 1181 average damage.
Not a very big
games.
improvement, yeah, but there is certainly improvement in their performance from the group stages. So they just really got to continue the good work, and I believe they had a better day today. And if they are going to come back after the break, they're going to have a big break, right? They're not going to play the matches tomorrow. Then there's going to be a 3-day break for the semi-final stage, and then they're going to play once again against Group A, and then once again against Group B, and then once again against Group C. So they still got 10 matches. They got to continue the good work and keep evolving as a team. And kill leaders, look at that, surprising. We have Mom2 leading the charts over there with 19 kills, Malik with 17, but you always have Crypto in the top 4, right? And he's still there with 15.
I mean, Crypto does a lot of work for the team, being the entry tracker. I mean, doing a lot of good stuff for the team. That's gonna take him into the top 4 kill leaders. We have Mom2 on top, Vaz on the 2nd, Malik on the 3, and Crypto on the 4th.
Yeah, these are big names from the region. Let's see how they're going to perform as we continue. But look at this. Portal Esports clearly dominated the day inside the day report. 31 kills, a lot of damage in their tally. I really like how they showed up today, right from the first game till the last. They always made sure they were in the thick of things. But Team Bablu also had their highlights. They got the maximum damage received, but they went into the maximum number of fights. So Team Bablu was also there. But really good. They got 70 plus points in just 5 matches. Clearly good signs for them.
Yeah, Team Bablu did a great job today. But I mean, if in the next 5 games they play a bit passive, I mean, sometimes I know aggression is the key to the situation. But if you come passive, that's going to be even better for you.
Certainly, certainly, all those factors are going to be part of your play. But these are experiences these teams have taken from the day, and now they are going to head towards the next day as well. So let's see. We are going to have Group A and Group C encounters Group B and Group A and Group C encounters upcoming tomorrow. So let's see how the matches are going to go ahead for them. But right now we are sort of ending towards the day's end where we witnessed all these teams playing, and really good to see you, Cracky, back in action. What do you? This was your first day for the Pakistan region, Cracky. How excited are you? Just rate your entire experience in a nutshell over here.
I mean, we enjoyed all the 5 maps, first of all. And after that, the way Team Bablu, Team I8 were performing in every another map. I mean, it was just fantastic to watch the aggression, the play style, the teamwork. I mean, it was just fantastic. So I really enjoyed that. And I am curious how teams from Group A are going to compete against Group C, because Group C was, I mean, fantastic.
Certainly, Group C were fantastic. Group A were also amazing on their first day. But what they are going to do is a story for tomorrow. So make sure to catch the action tomorrow. But for now, it's the end. So make sure you have a good night's sleep. Bye bye.